Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome on into the ultimate Cleveland sports show. Tyvis Powell, Earl the Pearl.
What up? How y'all
Jason
doing?
Lloyd. Our final overtime segment today. Ever.
Is it ever?
Ever.
It's over with.
Dang.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Forever.
It potentially be my last one in the flesh.
That, don't you say that. Don't you say
It's
that.
a possibility.
No, we'll figure it out. we will figure this out. You were the first one I thought of. You can ask Mike. I texted Mike and Adam. I'm like, yo, wait a minute. What's this mean for Tyvis? Like, we got to figure this out.
I'll be here in spirit.
No, you will not. I will get a chopper, and I will fly you in if we have to.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'll
figure
get
this
Jay's
thing
plane.
out.
We'll send Jay's plane down to
Send
get
Jay
you.
out here to come get me.
We'll figure it out. Michael, good morning. Hello. How are you?
What's up, guys?
up?
We want to start the show real quick. Bull's getting his surgery today.
Yes,
his
that's right.
long-awaited weight loss surgery. I texted with him a couple minutes ago. He is getting prepped to head in to actually undergo the process, and we just want to send our well wishes, our thoughts and prayers.
Yep.
Our best of luck. We're proud of you, Bull. We're excited for you, Bull. You're
Yeah,
going to
we
come out of
are.
this literally a new man. Or maybe minus a man, but you'll come out of this a better man. And,
Half a man.
Seriously, everyone from UCSS behind the scenes, you guys could chime in if you want, but we are incredibly proud of you, Bull, and wishing this a successful, speedy, and as painless as possible surgery and process for you, man.
This is a big day for Adam. He's obviously struggled with weight loss for years.
Yeah.
With the fluctuating weight, he would do great for a while, and then it would come back on. And I couldn't be happier for him. Couldn't be prouder of him. I missed him yesterday. We did the show, and then I had to pee because I always have to pee right after the show. So I ran to the bathroom. I came back, and he was gone.
Dang.
So I texted him and said, love you, praying for you. I know you don't believe in God and prayer, but me and my family pray for you.
Yeah, no, he's courageous for doing this. I love the fact that, he got the information that he needed to know, like, hey, you got to do this if you want to, live long. And, as scary as it is, he's actually attacked it really well. He's handled it really well. Like, just cutting back on the food, only eating certain things. Like, I'm proud of Bull being able to do that because I know that's got to be tough. Like, to go from eating whatever you want to, like, now you can only eat broth and all of that stuff. Like, that's hard to do. So I love the fact that he's dedicated and he's sacrificing to do this for the better good of his life.
Yep.
Yeah, big facts.
He's scared of the surgery, but he was more scared of what would happen without it.
Correct.
Frankly.
Yeah.
He's doing it for his son.
Yeah,
And I
that's
think that's
exactly
really
it.
admirable.
Yep.
He understands his journey ahead and where Aaron's at in life, and he said, I got to make a change, or I'm not going to be here to see, my son grow up. And
Yeah.
that's got to be. I don't have kids. You three do. But that's got to be a terrifying thought.
Yeah. One of my fears in life is not being there to see my kids grow up. I don't know why, but I've just, it's a fear of mine that something's going to happen to where I can't be there and watch them grow up.
Well, you keep talking about Shador.
Let's shorten this thing up called life real quick.
Shoot.
That's
was
hilarious.
Great. That was really good.
I think my biggest fear is leaving here without my kids being prepared. Like, as a man and as a father, it's my job to just prepare them for my demise. Like, life insurance is one of the most underrated bills that people kind of like don't pay or don't think is important.
Yep.
But that is the quickest way to create generational wealth, in my opinion, when you don't really, come from much. Like, invest in having life insurance and set your family up because you're not going to live forever. I'm more afraid of that than I'm actually dying, and I just think it's because it's been because of my own life journey. Like, you've seen a lot of it, you've seen it up close and personal, you've seen a lot of it unexpected. You just come to this realization, like, this thing could be over.
Yeah.
Just like that. And so just do what you can while you're here to prepare, like, your kids to at least have some part of their life stable moving forward without you.
My kids are well, the one's growing out of the house. Alex is out of the house. He's 23. But then AJ.
Were you sad? Were you sad when he left?
I was sad when he left for college. That was
cried?
hard. When he left for college, I sobbed when he left for college.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Yes, because he was the one. I adopted him from my wife's first marriage. He was 2 when I met him.
Yeah.
And I was an immature buffoon when I met him, and like I had to grow up fast.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's as much mine as the other 2 are.
Yeah.
And I hugged him. He went to Mercyhurst. He wasn't there very long, but he went to Mercyhurst. And I hugged him in the parking lot, and I just like started sobbing. I said, like, what am I going to do without you? Like, how am I supposed to do? It tore me up when he left for college. Yeah.
I feel like my first one, I'm not going to be like that one. Maybe with my second one.
Oh, you'll be like that with all of them.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like
Get out.
right now, when mine's on the way to college, I don't have this whole like I wish you was still my baby girl. I'm excited for her to get older because I feel like the older your children get, like the dynamics of that relationship
for sure.
change. You
Yeah.
can be more realistic with them, more honest with them about things, more transparent with certain things, you know. And as they get older than that, you can kick it a little bit. You know what I mean? So like for me, I don't look at it as a sad situation. She is about to do something that, you know, my immediate family, nobody did. So you know,
What your daughter is about to do is incredible. The track that she's on, it's phenomenal. But my other 2, AJ 15 and Ava's 14, since the time they were probably 4 years old, every single night at bed, I put them to bed every night that I'm home. And when I'm not home, a lot of times we do it over the phone. They say from the time they were probably 3 or 4 years old, 5 years old, somewhere there, I'm smart, strong, powerful, beautiful, and brave. I can do anything I want. I can do anything I put my mind onto. And it sounds silly, but they have literally said that thousands of times in their life. And I was talking to Ava, I was talking to my daughter the one time about it, and I said, there's going to come a day, like life's going to get really hard on you when you're an adult. And there's going to come a day where I'm not going to be here to remind you that you are all those things. And you need to know it. And if you've said it to yourself, whether you believe it or not, if you've repeated it to yourself every day, thousands and thousands of times, you're going to remember it. I mean, life gets hard, man. We all know that. It's hard. When you're first starting out on your own, even when you're not, when you're in your 30s and your 40s, it don't matter. Life will beat you down. And I just want my kids to know that they are good enough, and they are strong enough, and powerful enough, and brave enough to face whatever's coming.
Yeah.
When you said that, it made me think about, I think Nick Chubb, grandmother made him say that.
Did she?
When he wrote the little letter to Cleveland when he was coming back from his injury.
Yeah.
I think in there he said like his grandmother made him say something similar to that.
Yeah.
And like make him say it like where you believe it. Like you ain't just saying a phrase, like you have to believe it. And they said it actually helped him out a lot.
I'm an advocate of that. We got a routine, like they say their prayers, and then what's their favorite part of the day. And then they say, and with my daughter, they say that. And then with my daughter, it's one thing you love about yourself, because girls just shame themselves and beat the crap out of themselves so much over things. And I just want her to identify one thing that she loves about herself that day. And then the last thing is keep being awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And one more thing, and they say keep being awesome. We do that every single night. So.
Yeah.
How's that for Parenthood?
That's about as deep of an intro as we ever gotten. I think it was
too deep for the intro.
No. Not too. It was perfectly applicable for the situation at hand with Bull, and for you 3 out there who all have kids at different stages of their lives. It was sweet. There's a side of Jason that doesn't hate everything.
Yeah, but all jokes aside, though, like get life insurance and don't just depend on your job to offer you life insurance.
That's great advice.
Like seriously, man, like take time out to invest that whatever amount of money a month into life insurance, because it's so important to just have that type of stability and have that there. You don't want nobody doing GoFundMes and fish fries and all that other stuff when you die, man. Just go ahead and handle your business.
Even if you just do like a 10-year term life, you know. I mean, I don't want to do a life insurance commercial here, but there's 100 different kinds of insurance you can get. But just something for if you got kids until they can stand on their own, something that gets them through age 20, 25. It doesn't have to be $1 million policy, but just something that'll make sure that they're okay if something does happen.
But people like don't
advice.
realize, like, you get life insurance young. Say you start getting that like 20, 21 years old, $1 million policy ain't all that expensive.
No, it's not.
Not today's day and age.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that.
Like just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of, to end on a light note, y'all know how last year I did the spring game at Ohio State. I did the sideline reporting. So this year I got a call from Alex. Well, actually, while we was on the air Tuesday, I screened the call, but I called him back, and he was like, I was like, what, you want me to do the spring game again? He said, yeah. He said, I want you to call it. I said, you want me to do the sideline? He said, no. In the booth.
Really?
Color.
That's
You
awesome,
doing color?
dude.
That's
Yeah, I'm
awesome,
doing
dude.
color for it.
Congratulations.
So I was like, hey, you know, it's something that, you know, in this field, I'm not gonna say what field it is.
This profession.
This
Yeah.
media field.
This media profession.
This field. You know, I want to show like versatility, and I haven't called a game since I did high school football in Columbus, and I remember just having so much fun with it. I did that for like 2 or 3 seasons, and I had so much fun with that. So to get the opportunity to do it, you know, with players that I'm familiar with because I'm down there, you know, it's gonna be kind of cool to actually do that. So
I'm not just saying this. Like, I've told other people this. I'm not saying this because you're sitting here. You are talented enough to do anything you want in this media
No.
field. You really are. Like, you can explain the game in a way that idiots like me can understand. You can process things quickly on the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you play. But even guys who played, not everyone who can play can do that.
That's true.
And can explain it in a way that simplifies for everybody else. So yeah, I have no doubt.
Not only that, you got charisma, you got great personality, and you got energy.
You got the right temperament.
I gotta get that Manila folder with the 2 folders, so I got the whole depth chart right there. I talked to Dustin. I know Dustin calls games.
Yes.
I gotta see what
help
advice
you out.
Dustin got for me.
You will be
It's a lot of fun.
successful in whatever you do.
a lot of fun.
in
I
this field.
Appreciate that.
All right, and with that, let's dive into some topics. Another reminder that, guys, starting Monday, the showtime of UCSS does change. It is no longer starting at 11. We are starting at 10 a.m. over on the WKYC and WKYC Plus apps. Take a picture of the QR code on the screen. It'll take you right to the download link. The download link for the WKYC app is also in the description of this YouTube video, so make sure you guys check that out. We appreciate your guys' continued support. It'll be the exact same show, just an hour earlier. The first hour is only on KYC Plus, second hour on KYC Plus and YouTube. We hope to see all you guys there on Monday when we kick off our first show on the WKYC app.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Shoot.
Because, you know, I'll be, like, in the booth as the OC clipping the show,
Yes.
and I'll be in the chat. Don't none of y'all never say please. So can y'all please download the WKYC app? They just be telling you to download the app without even saying please. So can y'all do us a favor and please download the app? You know, instead of them telling you what to do, I'm just going to ask you, can you please download the app for us, please?
Well, you're nice and I am. I tell you, you want to watch a show, download the app.
See,
Or you can
Jason, damn.
Or you can always get on
It's up to you.
WKYC.com and watch
That's where it is.
Don't listen to them. Please download the app. Look, I'm trying to be the voice of reason here. Like, Jesus. Go ahead, Mike. Damn.
And we appreciate you guys. Please, as Earl said, download the app. We'll see you guys there on Monday. All right, let's dive into our first topic, guys. The Browns made 2 minor free agent signings yesterday. They signed defensive end A.J. Epinesa out of Baltimore and Tyron Wallace from Baltimore. For the people who asked me over the weekend, why didn't the Browns sign any Ravens players? Well, now they have one, so you guys can shut up and stop asking dumb questions. Tyvis, real quick, we'll round the horn before we dive into our next topic, but thoughts on Epinesa and Tyron Wallace? We'll do it quick because they're both more depth pieces than anything that's going to change their overall trajectory.
Epinesa is the guy out of the 2 that's more intriguing. You know, I know last year he only had 2.5 sacks, but years prior to that he had 6 sacks, 2 back-to-back 6.5 sack seasons. Just think, if you put that alongside with, because obviously you're going to have a rotation at the edge position, so you're going to start off with Alex Wright and Miles. When those 2 guys take a blow, you still want to have production. And we've had Isaiah, what's his name? McGuire, who's been really good, but we haven't had that other piece as well. Now you got 2 guys that can, when it's time to give Miles and Alex a blow, you got guys that can come in there and still get pressure to the quarterback. So to me, I like that signing. It's probably going to be a very underrated signing. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and have 6 sacks again, but if he can give us 4 to 5, like, that's very important for this defense to be able to take that next step when Miles and Alex need a blow. So I like that. And then when you talk about Tyron Wallace, he's a special teams guy. I told y'all last year, one thing about Bubba Ventrone that I didn't like is we never had a core special team guy. Like, I feel like years past we did, but, like, not one last year. Like, this is the guy. And I told you, being in those being in the NFL, there are like 3 to 4 guys that are your core special teams guy. Like they are in the center of everything. And I felt like last year with the Browns, when you just looked around, I just didn't think they had that guy. You know, I didn't think they had that really good gunner or that really good third-string linebacker that was good on kickoff and stuff like that. Like, to me, that didn't exist. So now you're getting a guy who's known for special teams, and I'm sure he'll rotate in at wide receiver and every now and again. But to have a guy that can come in and actually be a piece on special teams, especially if he's playing gunner, I don't know if he's playing gunner, but if he is, that is a pivotal piece on a punt team.
Well, for me, you know, I look at Wallace. We definitely can use some help in the return game.
Yeah.
The special teams returns for the Browns, you know, it's something that's just not been there. And when you go get a player from the Baltimore Ravens who under John Harbaugh, they put extra emphasis on the special teams unit because he made his, you know, way as a special teams coach. Anytime that you can pluck somebody that was productive for a Baltimore special teams unit, that kind of creates a sense of optimism that he can make some noise here. As far as the AJ is concerned, I mean, you know, we lose Cam Thomas. I kind of look at that as just a cheap plug-and-play replacement, a guy that can rotate in on the defensive line. And he's been solid over the course of his career till he can give you something. We all know the Cleveland Browns, they try to acquire as many defensive linemen as they can to keep those guys rotating in. But just some quality depth pieces, some that you can have in special teams, and just, you know, rotational player on defense. Nothing major.
Yeah, I think you guys covered it. There's really nothing else to say. Wallace will be an upgrade because it can't possibly be a downgrade.
Facts.
From what they've had on special teams in the return game. We talked about it last week or the week before. I'm not even so much concerned with finding a great returner as I am just stopping the mistakes.
Just catch a fair punt. Just catch a fair punt.
Yeah, and tackle guys and don't allow kick returns and punt returns for touchdowns. Let's start there. If they can just clean up that aspect of the special teams, whatever they get on the return side is a bonus. Mm-hmm. And with Evan, it's a depth piece. You know, whatever. I don't think much is expected of him. If he gets 5 sacks, my Lord.
That's what I'm telling you.
I mean, how many guys have had 5 sacks opposite Miles in the last
only Alex,
8
right?
years?
It's been tough sledding.
No,
ain't many dudes.
I feel like Jadavian had like a 9
I think he did.
season.
He might have been the only one, though.
What's the guy that we traded for like 2 years ago?
Dude from
Olivier Vernon was pretty nice. Opposite of
this was like 2 seasons ago. He was
Yeah.
opposite of Miles. What is his name? He can't. Where did he come from?
That they traded for?
Yeah, I know who
Yeah.
you're talking about. It was
Zadarius?
No, they had Tomlinson in the middle, and they had
Zadarius.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Ogbo.
No,
no,
it was
not
Zadarius.
Zadarius.
What did he finish with?
Not many.
See, that's a shame.
I think he was around 4,
That's
5.
a shame.
Zadarius
think.
Smith in 2023 had 5.5 sacks.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he had 5 in 9 games with the Browns before they traded him in 2024.
Trade him to Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's we can get 5. If we get 5 from him and Isaiah McGuire keep doing what he's doing.
Alex
And,
Wright
and
take
they
the next
re-signed
step.
Alex Wright. So
Yeah.
they got some depth. We're all in agreement, though. It's a nice special teams ad. Epinesa is a rotational piece. And to your point, Jason, their special teams was so bad last year in every facet that bringing in a guy that knows how Todd Monkin wants to operate, knows the kind of leader Todd Monkin can be from being with them in Baltimore for the last couple of years certainly helps. That brings us to our next topic, though. Fox Sports put out its post-free agency power rankings. Now,
This
free
is so dumb.
still going on, but this has been updated day by day, and it's by Ralph Vasecchio. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right.
I'm sure you're not.
I'm probably not.
Just say
Let me
Ralph.
show you the top 6 and the bottom 6. I have a question for you. According to Fox Sports, in their power rankings, this is the most updated as of this morning power rankings. They're way too early power rankings for 2026.
Shocking. 6 playoff teams.
Did the Rams get somebody that I'm not aware of?
Trent McDuffie.
Oh, yeah.
So they have Trent
that
McDuffie
was
and
a
the Rams at
big
1.
need.
The Jalen Waddle move bounced Denver up to number 2 ahead of Seattle. Seattle, the defending Super Bowl champions, at 3. The Bills at 4. The Patriots, who lost in the Super Bowl, down to 5. And the Eagles at 6. That's the top 6. Here's the bottom 6. At number 32, the Arizona Cardinals.
We
At 31,
behind
the
Miami.
Cleveland Browns.
Man, that's
30,
disrespectful. That's
Miami
disrespectful.
Dolphins.
That's disrespectful.
So, Tyvis, the question I put in the
He outta
rundown, the
his
question I
mind.
want to ask you,
He
even
moved-
after the free agency moves the Browns have made, is there any chance
he lost credibility.
they're one of the last 2 teams
Why?
in the
He
power
lost-
rankings?
They don't have They just sold their whole team.
Who do the Browns have?
I mean, at least they got a couple pieces.
Yeah,
I mean, they got a defense
Browns
at
got some
least.
pieces.
Again, you're going to argue about 31 or 30.
Yes.
That's where we're at
That's
with this.
disrespectful.
All right, so you think they should be
What
30.
about the Jets?
Yeah, that's out of pocket too.
So, okay, so you want to give them 29th. All right, well, that's all better now.
Thank you.
All right, that's so much
I mean,
better
it's
than
just
31.
you lose credibility, Jason.
I'm not doing this all day.
Miami?
I'm telling you right now, I'm not
Miami?
doing this all
29th
day.
is so much better than 31st, right?
Miami?
Moving
That's ridiculous.
two houses down the slum
That's
street.
ridiculous. I'm just saying that's ridiculous. Raiders, I can hear you on that one, but come on now.
So
the other
Mike's-
two, that's ridiculous.
Mike's question was,
the Jets sold their whole team. Like, come on, man.
Do you see a world in which the Browns are one of the two worst teams in the league next year?
Do I see a world?
Possible? Is it possible? Right? Did I get that right?
Yeah, like obviously he has.
Is
the
it
31st
possible that
now.
the Browns could be one of the worst two teams in football?
I know it's hard to believe.
Absolutely, it's possible. Yeah,
Thank
if this
you.
whole thing just is a disaster, yeah. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen either.
I think they'd be.
At least the fourth worst.
Here we go. Here we go.
The Browns will not pick in the top 10 next year.
Wow.
With their
All
own,
right.
with their own pick.
All right.
With their own pick, so you saying we're gonna get another pick?
I'm just saying.
You said
with
with
the
their own
Browns pick next year, I don't think it'll be in the top 10.
So that means they've won what? At least 7, if not 8 games.
That's the standard, ain't it? Because you just fired
What
him.
are the records of the top 10? The Browns are 6th with 5 wins. So they have to win at least 7 or 8 games next year. Then
You have to win 7 games is the cutoff.
And what's
for-
what-
You just so happen to have a schedule or who they playing? The team?
I think that's the expectation, though.
It is.
And you go back to what Andrew Berry said, when they was doing the press conference after Kevin Stefanski was fired, and they asked about it.
Yep.
The Browns thought that they had a roster that was good enough to win more than 5 games.
Yep.
If you even look at the direction that they went in hiring Todd Monkin, when we talked about all these young guns coming in and really learning on the
let me
job,
count
that was really another telltale of they think that they are better than what most of the public believe that they are. And we sit up here and we use the data all the time when it comes to all these players. Well, the data for Todd Monkin says that every stop he's been at the collegiate level and at the NFL level, that he's done something immediately to improve that situation. And so I got to bank on his track record that he's going to continue along that path. And the Cleveland Browns will have an offense to where players can play fast and physical, like he talked about building that type of scheme. He understands like that's his number one priority. I'm with you. I think it's more pieces on his team than what most people like to admit. I know it's fun for us to kind of like kiki and bash on the Browns because like record-wise we'd be horrible, but we got some pieces on the offensive side of the ball. We got a damn good defense, and if Tom Buchan can come in here with the additions on the offensive line and with whatever we're going to do in the draft and possibly in the trade market, and if he can implement a system that allow these guys to play fast and physical, then yeah, I can see a world to where the Cleveland Browns finish way above what their preseason power ranking is. But is it possible they could be the worst team in the NFL? I mean, parity is a real thing. Yeah, it's possible.
I think that, honestly, when I think about the Cleveland Browns, Todd Monkin is great and all, but the way that the Browns have operated this offseason, the most important person inside of the Browns organization, in my personal opinion, is George Warhop, and it's not even close. Because the way that they're going out and signing these free agents, I'm imagining at 6 they probably going to go with the offensive tackle if they don't trade the pick now, but I imagine that first pick will probably be a tackle. To me, you're banking on the fact that your offensive line coach is going to get these guys together, because outside of Elton Jenkins, he's the only person to me that they got, and that's kind of a proven guy. The rest of these guys is you gotta work with him. You gotta develop him. You gotta get him right. And if you get him right, boom, it'll take off. If that's the case, the most important person to get them right would be the offensive line coach, who everybody has a ton of respect for. I think that the Browns will lean heavily on the run game because Quinshawn and Dylan Sampson, to me, are more of a sure thing than the wide receiver room. I think that when you look at the fact that Quinshawn didn't get none of training camp and he had such a great season, or a pretty good season before his injury, and a guy like Isaiah Bond, who didn't play in training camp. I think he missed all the training camp as well. Like, those are two guys that you're going to be dependent on moving forward, and they didn't even really get chemistry with the team. They had to figure it out as the season went on. And I think given the fact that last year's season was such a dumpster fire, they still was able to pull 5 wins out of that. So if it's a little more stable and people are all on the same page and that defense is motivated, I think that, to me, you can find yourself 7 to 8 wins, which will keep you outside the top 10. This concludes my TED Talk.
It'll be right around the top. Yeah, if they win 8, they're out of the top 10 for sure. I'll shock people, and I will say wonderful things about the Browns and their choice of a head coach. So,
Mr. Negative.
no, I'm
just sick.
I'm just very realistic.
I understand that.
That's it.
I
don't try to be negative.
I
I truly
that
don't
to
try
you.
to be negative. I'm just.
You gotta call a spade a spade.
call
That's your job.
I call balls and strikes. But so I called Jeff Hammond this week, who is the athletic director at Southern Miss, when he's the one who hired Todd Monkin, basically.
Okay.
And
At Southern Miss.
At Southern Miss,
Yeah, okay.
which is his only head coaching job until now. Mm-hmm. He was the only dude. I'm writing a story. I'll probably run tomorrow. Jeff Hammond is the only dude in America.
Working.
I know, working right. First time about 9 days. Jeff Hammond was the first guy to give Todd Monkin a head coaching job until the Browns. So I called him and said, like, what did you see that everybody else has missed in his 37-year career? Like, what was it about him? And a couple things that he said that really stood out to me. One was, so the year prior, they had a longtime coach, Larry Fedora, who had a lot of success at Southern Miss, and he had retired. And the Jeff Hammond, who the guy I spoke to, was the assistant AD the year prior, and he was on the search committee that landed on Ellis Johnson. So they hired this guy, Ellis Johnson.
What years was this?
2012.
Oh, I just got to college.
So 2011, Larry Fedora retires from Southern Miss. 2012, they hire Ellis Johnson, who had been a long time, I think he was a DC in the SEC, and they hired him to be the head coach. And there was a lot of factors that went into this. It wasn't just the coach. There was a lot that went into it. They went from conference champs to 0-12 in the one season under Ellis. So the program is in a bit of a mess. So they fire Ellis. Now Jeff Hammond moves into the athletic director's role. Jeff's a retired major general from the Army. Okay. So like high class dude, like legit dude. And he said they'd gone through about 5 or 6 interviews. And he didn't like any of the candidates. He said he was really frustrated. They'd gotten all these candidates, and it just wasn't a match. And he had remembered interviewing Todd the year prior. He didn't really have a relationship with him. He calls Todd and he says, hey, will you come back in for an interview? And he said Todd was a little gruff with him and was like, I mean, you had a chance to hire me last year, and you didn't, so why would I come back?
Yeah.
And the guy and he said, like, please, will you just come in and let's talk? Like, just come in and talk. And Todd happened to be in the area recruiting. He couldn't remember. Jeff couldn't remember. He was in New Orleans or Mobile, somewhere nearby, Hattiesburg. So the next day, Todd comes to campus the next day and interviews. And Jeff said he blew it out of the water. He wowed everybody in the room. No notes, no prep, no presentation, and he crushed the interview. And he said, here we had listened to these other 5 guys who had rehearsed their presentations. They had PowerPoints and spreadsheets and all this stuff, and they were prepared and all that, and Todd just crushed them with the way that he could answer things quickly, the way that he processed. He had command of the room. He had a firm direction of what he wanted and how he wanted to do this. And Jeff said he became he was right away. They knew like they had their guy. So they hired him, and he won 1 game his first year. It took a couple years to kind of put the wheels back on. And then by his 3rd year, they had a winning record by his 3rd year. The other thing that he said that was interesting to me was he said he bought suits for all of his graduating seniors because he said Todd really cared about all of his players, like truly was invested in his players. And he said the players felt that. And he said he paid out of pocket. He started this program and he paid out of pocket.
Could do that.
To buy every graduating senior.
This is before NIL. He could do that.
After they graduated, right? After they graduate, you can.
I guess.
So
that's right.
After the seniors graduated, he paid out of pocket for every player to get a tailored suit because he was trying to prepare them for their first job interview. And said, he was trying to set them up for success. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I say that, all that, only to say that, like, he has been a guy that's been overlooked his whole career. And, I don't think that Todd has played a lot of the political games that have gone into maybe playing the game that you have to play.
To get to where you need to be.
To get to where you need to be. He didn't play that way. He didn't roll that way. He's very blunt. He's very honest. He's very direct. I think it wore thin at times in Baltimore with Lamar. I'm curious to see how it goes here in Cleveland with these guys. He does know quarterbacks. That was the other thing that Jeff told me, that he was really impressed with the way that Todd do quarterbacks. And he recruited Nick Mullins.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted Nick.
Nick Mullins helped me win my first start.
In San Francisco?
When my first start at safety was his first start at quarterback.
At quarterback with the Niners?
Whooped the Raiders. Woo! That's the one I dropped the pick. Dang shame.
And Jeff said, nobody was recruiting Nick. And he said, I looked at him like, what do you see in him? But Todd identified right away that, that's the guy I want. That's going to be my quarterback. And they had a lot of success together. So can they pull the nose up on this thing and not finish 31st? Yeah, they can, sure. I don't think this is a team with a winning record. No, I would take
eight.
I would take the under. What is it, Mike? 6.5?
6.5 is the current line.
Yeah, I would take the under.
I'll take the over.
I'm taking the slight over.
I'll take the over slightly.
7 to 8 wins.
But to what you said about him, of course y'all know I know Cecil, and Cecil played for Todd Monkin, and he echoed a lot of what you said about him just being a person that's a straight shooter, real transparent, that's going to tell you the truth at all time, but he's going to also hold you accountable. And then when you hear players on the Browns that have met him now, Todd seems to be a guy that has a lot of personality, and he has this level of emotional availability that, in my opinion, kind of meshes well with our Cleveland fan base, so to speak, right? And I think that when you show emotional availability and you show that type of care for your players, and you can show that you can be honest with them, hold them accountable, but still keep that level of being a player's coach, that's going to make guys more eager to play for you. And then, to me, just hearing about how he can come up with schemes and just how well he knows of developing offense and then getting the most out of what's around him, all of that in a complete, bowl put together, that's a recipe to have success.
I always said when they hired him, I said Todd Monkin is the coach that they need, not the coach that they want. Sometimes you get what you need and not what you want. And I think that, again, when you just look at the roster and how young it is, you need that guy who's a straight shooter. A lot of these guys are still trying to figure out how to be successful in the NFL, and I think you adopt the mentality of your head coach. Your head coach is a guy who's a straight shooter and blunt and passionate about what he's doing. You're probably going to turn into a passionate guy who's very blunt and a straight shooter as well, and I think you can respect that. I think that when you talk about how y'all talk about he's a guy that shows that he cares, if I know that you care about, because in the NFL, it's so hard. It is so hard to get a player to understand, a coach actually care about you, because you could be gone tomorrow. I cut you and next dude in here, you'll tell them 1, 2, 3 family, but yet Tuesday at 4 p.m. you might cut me. So there's no such thing as family. But when you finally find somebody that you truly link with, and that's this dude actually do care. That's how I felt about Jeff Hafley. I was like, Haf actually really care about me and my career here. He just kept it real with me. And I responded to that the best way. And I think a lot of players responded to that. I think probably if you ask anybody, you probably won't hear nobody ever say anything bad about Hafley, because Hafley just keeps it real. And sometimes it might not be what you want to hear, but yeah, he just keeps it real and you respect it. I think that's what the Browns need. I think just for so many years, guys just kind of got away with things. And I'm not saying Kevin was a bad coach or nothing like that. I was listening to Jarvis and Leonard Fournette talk yesterday about Kevin and stuff like that. And I just think that it's just funny to hear Jarvis talk about how he's I don't know how good of a coach he is, but when it comes to offense and stuff like that, he know that. He's really good at that. But as far as a head coach, I don't really think that's his thing. And it's funny because I started thinking about just some of the stuff that you hear about, how they weren't critical of Deshaun. They would show film and not say anything to Deshaun in front of the team and stuff like that, to where that probably would have made him better. You probably missed the opportunity to make him better. And as a player, it would make me see nobody's above the team. Oh, he ain't gonna say nothing to Deshaun if he's doing bad, but he'll cuss me out. What's that? But if I hear you cuss Deshaun out, it's let me lock in, because if he did that to Deshaun, I know they don't care about me.
I had been told that by multiple people, and players picked up, as you know, on that
right away.
Yep.
You skip right past it, and you'll be we be in the back of that meeting,
if you think about Kevin, right? He got this real even keel personality. And sometimes in life and in game situations, you kind of need somebody who can keep their emotions in check. The problem is, man, like, there's pros and cons to everything. And when you that even keel and non-confrontational like that, and you don't want to be publicly critical, like, that's a part of, like when you're a head coach, right? It's no different from being a supervisor or an executive manager when you lead a team. And when you lead a team, there are so many elements on what does a leader need to have in order for this organization or for my team to run with success. And part of that is, like, you got to be able to approach people with critical conversations and be able to articulate that in a way to where your message gets through without offending. And if you can do that and keep and be the same, like, mean cuss across the board with everybody, well, that's going to garner more respect from your players in the locker room. But if you touch and go with it, that's the easiest way to lose credibility. And that's why, personally, I wanted to move on from Kevin 2 years ago. I felt like that Kevin had compromised his own integrity inside that locker room. Yeah. And when you do that, it's really, really hard to get that back, especially when you're not winning. Eventually, like, your message start falling on deaf ears.
Real quick, I want to go back because Mike wants to move. Something you said earlier about trust. Did you ever trust an organization you played for? I've yet to find a player.
No.
I honestly.
The closest trust I've ever had to an organization was Seattle.
Why?
Because Seattle understood when I first got there. As you know, I was a safety in college. So Seattle took me and was like, I want you to play corner. And I was like, well, I ain't played corner since my freshman year of college. And then I got to learn the technique and all that stuff. And they like, well, you know what? You so good, we're going to keep you on the 53 because that's some practice squad stuff. We're going to keep you on the 53 because we know you valuable. We're going to give you this whole year to try to figure this thing out. And I went through that whole year like straight corner, trying to get this step kick lockout. And I got better and better and better as I got towards the end. The only reason I got cut is because Tyler Lockett broke his leg. So when they was like, when I got cut, John Schneider was like, he's like, Tyus, I'm going to tell you right now, I really hate to do this, but I got to cut you. He said, but I want to get you back, but I know the truth is once we put you on that waiver, you're not going to come back here. Like, somebody's going to claim you because I think you're that talented. So I ended up getting claimed by the Browns, ironically.
Yeah.
Got cut by the Browns, got claimed by the Colts. Got injured in the final Colts preseason game. So I like rehabbed there for like 3 weeks. And then once I got cleared, I got released. And as soon as I got released, the first person to call me was John Schneider. He was like, I told you I was going to get you back. He said, I'm going to try to get you back. I told you I was going to get you back.
I really like him.
So that was the only person that I was like, oh, yeah, he told me he wanted to really, he valued me. Yeah. And I went back. But then I got cut again. So there you go.
I think John's legit. I like John.
No, John's legit. He is. I respect him for that. I just, at that point, the reason that it didn't work my second stint is because, again, like with the Colts, I played safety corner. With the Browns, I was at safety. And then I go back to Seattle, and they're like, all right, now you back to playing corner. It's just like.
Yeah. But it's funny you said no because I've yet to find a player in the NFL who said yes.
Yeah, they don't care about you.
Not one. Now, think about that. Not one player trusts the organization.
No. And Brandon Browner told me that as a rookie, we was having lunch, and he said, I'm telling you right now, get your money because they don't care about you. Yeah. He said, the money going to make me move every time, so you get every dime you can get. He said that's why he ended up leaving and going to the Saints. I think he went to the Saints and then he went to the Patriots. But he was like, they don't care about us like that. Don't believe that for 1 second.
Gotta get that bread.
Yep.
But the Seahawks would be the closest that I ever felt like that.
All right, Mike.
All right, let's get to our next topic. Quick reminder, G. Bush did an Ultimate Brown show earlier this week talking about Carnell Tate and whether or not he's worthy of the number 6 pick. It's on our YouTube page. G's back in the studio tomorrow. But if you want G. Bush content today, you can find it on our YouTube page as he breaks down Carnell Tate. And speaking of Carnell Tate, I got tagged in this by Kolb, at Kolb, _ Kolb.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it was, he does a podcast with Quincy Carrier.
Yeah.
And it was asking to rank these former Ohio State receivers as prospects. So you have to take out what you know of them as NFL players.
This is strictly what they did at Ohio State.
Strictly as prospects entering the NFL.
Go Bucks!
Where would Carnell Tate rank among these other ones? This is the list of possible candidates that we are going to rank. Tate, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jackson Smith and Jigba, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and Emeka Ibuka. Those are all the first-round picks that Ohio State has produced at the receiver position dating back to 2021.
I don't even know why you ain't put JJ on there. He's number 1 overall of them.
Well, he's not a first-round prospect yet, considering he's not draft eligible. So, of these 6,
Are you out of your mind?
Tyvis, how would you rank them in terms of just NFL prospects? Is Tate in the top half, the bottom half? Rank them for me.
Marv is 1.
Yep.
Garrett's 2. Olave's 3. JSN's 4. Tate's 5. Emeka 6.
See, I thought I was going to get killed. First of all, you're picking among 6 Picassos here,
Yes.
right? Like, there is no right or wrong answer as far as although I do believe Marvin's 1.
Marvin is 1.
Why
Coming out, Marvin was arguably one of the best prospects
ever
ever.
at receiver. Yes.
That's Maserati Marv, baby.
But I look at that list and I put Tate last among those guys.
I mean, you can sell me on that.
So that's why I thought, man, I'm gonna probably upset some people here.
You could, between him and Emeka, you could flip them two. I
agree.
hear it either way.
I agree, but those others,
Emeka was much more probably productive in college. I feel like Tate was kind of overshadowed because of Emeka and JJ.
Well, that's the thing with Tate is Jeremiah. I mean, what better would his career look like if he didn't have Jeremiah on the other side? But at the same time, how much
worse could it look?
How much attention has that provided to have Jeremiah on the other? So I don't know. Like those other, I don't remember all the years run together. I don't remember of that list who played with whom.
So in that list, Garrett and Chris played together.
Okay.
JSN was the third receiver.
Yep.
So once Garrett and Chris left, it was JSN and Marv, and Emeka was he was like a sophomore. So JSN, if you remember, he messed up his hamstring. He missed pretty much the
whole
entire
year.
season.
Yeah.
So it became Marv and Emeka. And then obviously JSN left, went first round. Marv and Emeka came back. Marv ended up having that great year. He left. Then Emeka had JJ, and there we go.
I got to give Emeka his props, though, because he worked his ass off to be a first-round pick. You just think about, like, all the adversity he went through, the ups and downs, and normally, like, wide receivers at Ohio State don't come back, for as long as he did.
He was overshadowed his entire career at Ohio
facts,
State.
and for him
he
to kind of
never
like
seen as wide receiver 1.
For him to kind of like ball out and still become wide receiver 1, I think my list is kind of like right there with the rest of y'all. So Maserati Marv number 1. For me, I think that I would probably go Chris Olave ahead of Garrett Wilson. I know it's a toss-up, but like Chris Olave, I just remember him being so damn productive.
I mean, he got the most. I think he got the most receiving touchdowns in Ohio State history with 35.
That's crazy right there. So like I would go Chris second, Garrett third, but Tate would probably be last on that list for me as
you
well.
can sell me either way.
Yeah, and it ain't no shade, man. And like this is a conversation. Like I know me and Mike talked about this upstairs, to where you get to talking about Ohio State wide receivers. Like
It's unbelievable.
now that we done ranked them, we can kind of spread this conversation out. Because Mike asked me, he was like, "Man, who you think the top 2 wide receivers is in Ohio State history?" And without hesitation,
Or JJ.
I was like,
JJ and Marv, probably.
I have a bias. Like Terry Glenn is my all-time
I'm
favorite.
with you.
But I would say Chris Carter and TG. But
Chris Carter and JJ.
I'd say Terry and JJ.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean,
You're picking among
I mean,
Maseratis.
like,
saying it like
facts.
well, you want me to say no?
Yeah, I know.
And then like I was thinking like earlier this morning, like, man, you turn on Teddy G's Ohio State mixtape and it is ridiculous. Like,
So that's when I covered Ohio State. I had Cooper's last year through most of Tress. And the receivers that I covered I thought were pretty good. And you put them against these dudes, it ain't like Michael Jenkins, Santonio Holmes, good receivers.
yeah, Michael Jenkins was a dog.
They ain't in this class.
No, they're not.
It's incredible, the receivers that, and that's why the fact that like Harrison hasn't figured it out yet in the NFL is baffling to me, because you can't get a better
I feel like
stock.
Was he not turning it around with Jacoby?
Look at his game last
He ended up with 1,000 yards last year.
Did he?
But you can't.
They had
he had
2,000
like
yard wide
800.
receivers. I could be wrong, but I thought they had 2,000 yard wide receivers last year.
If he had 1,000,
No, he had 600 yards last
Oh,
year.
my bad. Somebody else had 1,000 yards. I know Wilson.
Michael Wilson did.
Oh, he
Yeah.
did.
You can't buy better stock than Ohio State receiver.
Facts.
Honestly, if you're looking for a receiver, that's why like with the Browns. I just said I put Carnell Tate at the bottom of that list, and he still could go 6 over. Like that's crazy.
He could go higher than 6. He could go as high as 4.
So like if you need a receiver, you go to Ohio State. You know, you're not more than likely you're gonna hit.
What gets me about him is everybody's making such a big deal over his 4.5 40, and it's hilarious because I watched his tape. Dude averaged 17.2 yards a catch. The dude was just bombing people the whole entire year.
Yeah.
So if he ain't that fast, that means his routes is unbelievable, which is what you need in the NFL. Plus, the NFL is a very intermediate game anyway. A lot of the stuff is not deep balls. It's all them deep overs and them dig routes and all that. Like, to me, like I
mean, think about this.
I understand like the hesitancy, but like I think he's going to be fine.
Tay again is one of the fastest players ever to suit up for Ohio State, and it took him a while into his NFL career to really like get the route running part down pack. And once he got that down pack, you look at his years with like Carolina, for example. It was like that's when he had the total package in his few years with New Orleans. So you're right, you know that route running is a big part of it. But man, just to talk about those wide receivers from the '90s, the early 2000s, and what Ohio State has done at that position since then the two-way guys that we had, you know what I mean? Like
Chris
it was
Gamble.
the Chris Gambles of the world. Like it was always nasty work, man. Like Joey Galloway was another one. Like
Joey was
even the guys that really didn't pop all like that at Ohio State, but got to the NFL and did their thing, like a Michael Thomas. So to your point, like it'd be so many good wide receivers there that. Like, even if you don't get your opportunities at Ohio State, because you went to Ohio State and just what comes with that, you get to the NFL and your chances to be, like, really, really good is high. I seen a podcast with Paris Campbell talking about the standard. Yeah. That's who I was talking to you about. That's who it was. It was Paris Campbell talking about it. Like, I was like, damn, Paris Campbell was another one. Like, even at Ohio State, he had his time.
Anthony Gonzalez. I'm just running through all the names.
Anthony Gonzalez is nasty.
It's a very safe pick to take a receiver from OSU. I feel like that about. I also feel like that kind of about USC too.
Yeah. LSU.
Well, LSU for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think they got somebody in the draft this year? I feel like they do got
at receiver.
Yeah, I feel like
no one that's anywhere near the top of the rankings. Speaking of the receivers, Ty, I got caught last night going down a Jordan Tyson rabbit hole. I understand that the injury concerns with Tyson are legit.
But you see that
there ain't a more talented receiver in this draft than Jordan Tyson.
I've been telling you that.
I'm joining the Tyvis bandwagon.
He is the most athletic
Tyson,
dude, a receiver. It's not even close. Like, when you talk about throwing up a ball and that dude, like, just everybody else he jumps. Everybody else is coming down. He still is stuck in the air. It's like, wow, like this dude really, but the injuries thing, it's so scary. But like athletically, it's not even close. Not even close.
On that, at 6, if you're drafting a guy and you have to weigh, obviously, the injury risks versus the potential, how do you kind of balance, and there's not a right or wrong answer, I'm just curious, I want all your guys' opinions on this. How do you balance the risk of a guy who might be more talented but comes with the injury risk? And obviously you can't predict injuries, and Carnell Tate's been durable, but he may not be durable. I understand it's not a perfect comparison, but how do you try and balance getting the best player available with the concerns versus the quote-unquote safer pick at the same
position? Correct
me
if I'm wrong. He played 4 years of college and got injured all 4 years, correct?
Tyson?
Yeah.
He missed his entire freshman year basically at college. I think he played one game and then missed the rest of the year, and he has missed time in
every single
all
season.
3. I only have one hand to type, so if you give me 1 sec, I'll confirm.
I'm pretty sure that he got injured in all 4 years.
I think that
I've never heard a player that had injury history in college go to the NFL where it's more physical and more faster and not have injury history.
I think that answers itself with what you just said.
To me, like, that scares me.
That's like saying like
he missed games in 3 or 4 years, Tyvis.
But that's like saying all of a sudden you just gonna reverse your injury history where like you can be very athletic, very talented, but if you're talking about taking a guy at 6, you want that player on the field to be productive. And chances is, like, again,
be there at 24 for sure.
That's a different conversation. At 6, I don't really
can't do it.
I don't really know about all that.
I think it's a case-by-case basis. I think it's if it's a chronic knee versus.
Oh, if it's a chronic knee, he not making. But you see, I'm like, he ain't getting it. He gonna be there for a while.
But that's what I'm saying. Is it an array of soft tissue injuries? Does he have a bad back? Is it like if it's one thing, that's worse than if it's an array of things. But like I'll go back when I was covering the Cavs. I remember
Anthony Bennett.
No, well, no. The draft after that, when they had the number 1 pick and they took Wiggins, I was talking to David Griffin. The GM.
Jabari Parker.
Well,
I know where you're going with this. It was about Embiid.
It was about Embiid. And Griff said Joel Embiid will be the best player to come out of this draft. He's a transformative player. But our medical said we can't touch him. Like, you can't touch him. I forget if it was knee or back at the time or both.
Yeah, it was knee. It was knee and foot to start, and then the back is what kicked it in the NBA.
And he said, like, we can't touch him.
Man, I felt like it was
he will
like
be the best player.
2.5 years before he made his like debut for real. Like it was a long time.
Yeah, he sat. He missed his entire rookie season, part of his second season.
Yeah, it was a long time before he saw him out there.
The doctors play a big role in guys like that with long injury histories of you pour over the medicals.
Mike,
the
you would
doctors
happen
want
to
to get
know
their
what
hands
his
on these
injuries
guys.
were you? Do you? Was it
Tyson?
Yeah.
I do. I looked it up. So in 2022, he suffered a torn ACL, MCL, PCL,
Wow, that's
which
terrible.
cut his season, and then he transferred to Arizona State, where he was continuing to recover from that previous injury, and only played in the final 3 games of the season. So he played at Colorado for a little bit, tore his ACL, MCL, PCL, transferred to Arizona State, played late in the season. In 24, he suffered a fractured clavicle late in the season. It required off-season surgery. He played through that, though, and then he missed time in 2025 due to a hamstring injury.
So that's where, as an organization, you have to sit down. Like, you sit down and you say, okay, was this freak or is this something to be concerned? Because it's not like he's had.
It's 3 different injuries.
Yeah.
The knee did not end up costing him games later once he was recovered. The clavicle did not cost him to miss games in 25. 3 separate injuries.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Are you like? Some guys are just brittle. They got brittle bones, you know. So is that or is that? If it was like a constant hamstring over and over again, I'd have more concern about it. But to your point, like, it's more physical. It's more games. It's more punishment on your body.
You taking him at 6?
No.
Yeah.
I just think about, like, not saying that they are in the same class whatsoever, but like we seen flashes from Cedric Tillman, right? But like Cedric Tillman,
Have we?
I mean, we had a 4 or 5 games. that little time with
It's like
little
when you
stretch
turn
with
your cell phone light on and off.
but it's like it's one of those things to where, like, when you even talk about a guy like that, we see it already in our current wide receiver room. Like, he's not available because he's always hurt, and that's a lot of like draft capital to invest in a guy that you really can't guarantee is going to be on the field for a large percentage of the time.
You know what? I'm gonna say something about Cedric Tillman.
What you gonna say?
I think he'll have a bounce back year. That's not gonna be nothing crazy like 1,000 yards or nothing like
About
that.
650?
I think he's gonna have a very solid, productive year.
What about 650?
I don't remember what he had last. What do you have? Like,
I don't remember what he had. Well,
3?
he was hurt. Heck, he played
3?
in like 4 games. I think that he's got some ability. I think Todd's gonna get it out of him.
You know what Ohio State wide receiver that it didn't transfer for? Brian Rubisky.
yes.
And you know why that frustrates me? Because like people always talk about pedigree and, well, this because your dad do this means that. His dad was an NFL wide receiver coach. And the entire time he was in the NFL, he could not get off the line of scrimmage whatsoever.
Well, he's one where I think the speed did hurt him. He just wasn't fast. And I think that did play a factor in why he couldn't create separation. Do you remember? Were you?
That
No.
was young. He was. What he
Browns
got
took him the second round.
Yeah.
I thought it was the 3rd. He came here in what, 20?
Maybe it was the 3rd. I don't know.
2009, 2010.
I don't remember. I covered him at Ohio State too. Great hands, sure receiver. They put him back on punt returns because he wouldn't. Like, he was not a good returner, but he
So
wouldn't fumble.
the Browns had him playing outside receiver.
Yep.
Yeah.
They should have had him play the slot.
They
He
took
was a 2nd-round pick.
they took another receiver in the 2nd or 3rd round, like back to back. It was Rubisky and someone else.
Greg Little?
No.
I hope it ain't. I hope it
Look at
wasn't.
that draft, Mike. They took
I
two.
wasn't.
Was it Massaquoi?
He was
Muhammad
a four- I
Massaquoi?
thought he was a 4th rounder.
They took 2 receivers back.
It was Massaquoi. He was also a 2nd.
He went to he
Yeah.
went to Georgia, right?
Georgia, yeah.
and neither one of them could play in the NFL.
Hey,
That's
that
tough.
man James Harrison, man. I still remember like the way he hit him. Like Massaquoi just fell to his knees, just kind of fell over.
That's a
It was
grown
like,
man.
oof.
He's a grown man.
Hey, Greg Little was swagged out, man. Couldn't catch a damn thing though.
He did everything right, but catch the ball.
Catch the ball.
It's crazy.
Kind of a big part of being a receiver.
I understand that, but like, man, how you go? You got to reward yourself. He did.
He had the half
He
sleeve.
was physical. I mean, he was
He had
big,
the
tall,
physical specimen.
like, and he just could not.
Couldn't catch herpes in the warehouse district.
Well,
right.
Braylon was like that too. He had a good year, one good year.
One good
And
year.
then LeBron,
07 was
LeBron
crazy.
got him kicked out of Cleveland.
He
With
got
that,
himself
let's get
kicked
to
out of
our
Cleveland.
next topic. Quick reminder, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us on our social media accounts, X,
Can you say please?
Instagram, TikTok, at Oakley Sports. We appreciate you guys for following along for some behind-the-scenes
So I'm
content.
gonna say please.
And we'll be back. Please hit the follow button. See, that sounds like we're begging. We're not begging.
I ain't begging
We're
anybody.
just
You want to watch
asking
the
nice.
show? Download the
It's
app.
called being nice, man. Jesus.
All right, guys, let's talk a little draft here, or continue our draft conversation at the very least. It is well known, or at least believed to be well known. I think that's the right way to phrase it. Believed to be well known.
Word on the
To be
street.
well known.
That the
And get in trouble
Browns-
with that stuff.
Could be interested in trading back from the number 6 pick. It was either Jordan Reed or Matt Miller. I'm drawing a blank on who it was. It was on SportsCenter the other day. Called the Browns' desire to trade back the worst kept secret about the NFL draft right now. Question for you, Jason. We'll start with you, and then I got to run upstairs and get my laptop charger. So if you see me leave after I ask this question, don't panic. I got to leave. So don't worry. I'll be back in a sec. Question for you though: if it is a terribly kept secret, does that hurt the Browns' value in a potential return to move back from number 6? If teams know that is what they may actually be trying to come draft day.
No,
I'll be back. I
their
can't wait to hear your
leverage-
answers when I listen to the show tomorrow.
Their leverage doesn't stem from their.
The ad is crazy.
Well, their leverage doesn't stem from their desire to move out. The leverage stems from who's available at 6.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, who's available that other teams want to come up and get, and what price are they willing to pay? Or the desire has very little to do with it. In this case, it's not like a player you're trying to get off of that everyone knows you're trying to get off of. This is you're trying to go up to get a player. So the value lies in the board and in who teams want and who's available and who they feel is worth going up to get, and in how far the Browns willing to travel down to acquire future assets.
You know, one of the things that doesn't get talked about enough or at all is that we talk about so much about the Browns trading down. Why nobody ever talk about them trading up from
because
24?
that is not what analytics.
That don't make sense.
You don't think that they would trade up? When the last time we traded?
Who they
was
traded
it-
up to get though?
Was it David Njoku, the last person we traded up to get?
I mean, Shador. You mean in the first round?
Oh yeah.
We traded that, and we got like 2 first-round picks back from. I can't remember how it went, but that was the
Brock
Deshaun
Osweiler?
Watson trade.
For
Like when we traded down, we could have took Deshaun Watson. We traded out of that spot with Houston.
yeah, we got
And
Miles
we ended up
first,
taking Jabril
Peppers at
and
like
David
20
Njoku,
something.
and then David Njoku.
But the last time they went up,
With that draft, 2017, right? How did we get Denzel? Because we got Baker and Denzel in the first.
We already had the 4th pick.
Oh.
yeah, that's when Deshaun got hurt. Deshaun was in Houston. They had made the trade with Houston. Deshaun got hurt, I believe, and then the 4th pick would have been Houston's, and that's how they wound up.
Deshaun has done a lot.
Yep.
has done
I mean, I remember
many things.
I remember
in
moving up to
Cleveland.
get Kellen Winslow. Butch did that. Wait, was it Butch? I forget who the coach was now at the time. They moved up. I'm almost positive they moved up to get Winslow.
So we moving up to get Keon Sadiq.
Hey, the Browns had a fan line at that time, and I called the fan line begging them to draft Sean Taylor. As I was calling, Sean Taylor was getting drafted by the Washington Redskins, and the little kid in me was just sad, man. I was so sad.
Well, they don't go up because that's not the. I'm sure that there's players that they would go up for. I'm sure, in the right situation, but they're not going to make a habit of doing that. That's just not.
No, I feel like if they traded up for Shador, what they trade for Shador?
I don't remember, but they definitely moved up.
How I see it, I think it's more likely than not that the Browns trade back than draft at 6. I know everybody been playing with the PFF mock draft simulator, and I have done probably like 30 mock drafts. And now the mock draft that I've did the entire 5 to 6 rounds that I select, that I've drafted a player at 6 to the point that you made. Not saying it's going to fall this way, but you got a strong possibility that Caleb Downs, Carnell Tate, either maybe Sonny Styles or David Bailey is all sitting there on the board with the best available tackle. and you got to measure the thirst of the teams that's beneath you and how willing they are to come up there and pay that premium price. And that's why, like we talked about this about a couple months ago now, you look at a team like the Dallas Cowboys who's sitting on 2 first-round picks next year, or you look at a team like the New York Jets.
They got 2 first next year?
Or you look at a team like the Jets who's sitting on 2 number ones next year. One of those teams, I think, will be more, willing to move up and trade one of those first-round picks in 2027. It's all about who's going to be available, and does Andrew Berry believe he can still get his guy? But I don't really see the Browns taking a player with the 6th pick.
See, I don't think the Jets will sacrifice the 27 pick because they're looking at quarterback too next year. So they're going to hold on. They're going to save that capital for that. What I'm curious about, I agree. I think they want to move down. What is the Browns' pain tolerance, and how far are they willing to drop?
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking like 6 to 9? Or are we talking 6 to 22?
So 12 would be Dallas.
Right.
I think 16 would be the Jets. I don't see the
Correct
Browns really going no. Maybe you might get a call from a team that got picked 17 or 18.
So what are they?
It just depends on what they're
we
trying
going
to.
down, and we moving down 10 to 11 spots. It better be a 27 first.
It's got to be.
I think you got to go lower than that. And again, I'll go back to the
make the pick.
I'll go back to the Falcons trade with Julio. That's sort of the benchmark. Now times have changed, and the points system is sort of out the window. The trade chart with all the points and everything.
Yeah, well,
the Browns obliterated that last year with the 2 for 5.
I bet you that Jacksonville stinks this upcoming season.
Probably they'll probably have a top 5 pick now.
Probably,
The Browns miss out on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if 6 to 17 gets you a future of 1. But again, that's what. My question is, what are the Browns trying to accomplish by moving down? Are you just trying to acquire an extra asset, like get an extra 2 in this draft? Or are you trying to get another 17-1 when you know how far you have to drop for that? And I don't know the answer to that. But that to me is more fascinating than just like the trade down conversation is, okay, but how far? How far are they willing to go? How far do they want to go? Not even are they willing to go. How far do they want to go?
I couldn't see them going back no further than 15. And I see, to me, I think that when you get to 12, that's when you can start probably talking 2027 first-round pick. But we all watched the Dallas Cowboys documentary that was on Netflix end of last year, right? You get to that 5th episode, and you hear the entire Jones family talking about how important it is to chase another Super Bowl. You hear Jerry Jones talk about, like, this is something that he absolutely loved. This means the world to him. And he understands he's getting up there and he's closer to the end of his life than he's not.
Yep.
And he has one goal, and that is to win a Super Bowl. If the Dallas Cowboys identify a player right there at 6, Jerry Jones might look at this like, man, I might not be alive in 2027 to even spend this first-round pick. So if I see a player that I really, really want that might complete the defensive side of the ball for me, I don't got no problem paying this premium price. I'm trying to chase a Super Bowl right now. I just think it depends on the level of thirst from the people that's there. And at 12, you got Dallas. At 15, you got Tampa Bay. I just think there'll be some opportunities to where you might be able to get a first next year and maybe another 3rd or a 4th this year and still be able to get a player that you really, really want right there at that spot.
What Andrew pulled off last year was stunning. I said it on the night of the draft. Like, this is not revisionist history. I thought he knocked it out of the park the night of the draft. To go from 2 to 5 and get a future 1 is unbelievable when you're not coming up to get a quarterback. And a 2.
Yeah.
They got a 1, they got a future 1 and a 2 for Quinshon. So I would put nothing past, like, that. You might be right. Maybe you can squeeze. I just know, given what is coming, what people believe is coming in the 27 draft and how valuable a 1 is in that.
It's supposed to be loaded with generational talent.
So Field Yates was on their show First Draft yesterday with Mel Kiper, and they were talking about how the 27 draft, not just at quarterback, but at receiver and defensive end, 3 premium positions, is as talented as they've ever seen. They talked about a 2027 first, and once again, this is hearsay. Who knows how it's actually going to pan out on draft day, as having the equivalent of almost 3 first-round draft picks. Like, a team that traded 2027 first-round pick would be the equivalent of giving up 3 future picks because of how loaded that draft is at so many positions of need. Wow. So I don't know who would be willing to trade those. If the Browns could get a 2027 first, I don't care what you're giving up and how far you're moving back. Like, I'm kind of in. Because even if Shedeur pans out, I'm going after Jeremiah Smith. Or I'm going after Colin Simmons, the pass rusher from Texas, or the other elite positions that aren't even the quarterbacks, which means they'll get pushed down in the draft. But I'm not quite sure the appetite for other teams to trade 2027 firsts unless you're moving up for a guy that they feel is a can't miss. And none of the positions that you'd be trading up for at 6 are those premium positions.
Right.
So
Right.
It might not be premium positions, but it's premium players that play those positions. And if those premium players fit, a need of one of those teams that's closer to, winning the Super Bowl or in the middle of being in that era to where this is their window, then they're going to do what they have to do right now because nothing is guaranteed in the future, and we all know that. So I think that the opportunity to trade back is really, really high, and I just think the Browns not going to be picking at 6.
What is the lowest you would be willing to go if it included a 27 first? How low would you go?
15.
So you wouldn't go to 20, the Cowboys' second pick, Earl, for their 2027 first.
15.
It depends on the team.
And how good that 27 pick would be?
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, that has to.
If you're telling me I'm trading with the Chiefs, no.
So 12, you can either get Dallas or Green Bay's first round
Okay,
pick.
so
That's
you'll
a
be-
toss up.
So you'll be picking somewhere between 10 and 15.
15 is Tampa Bay.
They could potentially have a down year, but I think they're gonna still make the playoffs because they're in the division that they in.
I done did so many
So
mock
you're talking
drafts
about
around
again,
this.
12 to 20.
I know one. I think it was the Panthers at 17. And
I
offered
make
me
that.
a first.
Well, they went to the
Lions are
playoffs.
17, Panthers are 19, Vikings are 18.
I trade with them.
That Panthers would be nice. I'd take that one over.
Where's the Panthers?
19.
But why would they come up? What are they looking for?
That's a good
Receiver?
question.
No, they just got Ted. Never mind. Running
You
back.
still need more than one.
I would go to the 20s for a 17-1, especially when you talk about the depth of this draft. I would go to the 20s if I could get a 27 first.
Would you trade for A.J. Brown?
No.
No.
What if it was a second?
No.
He's a tremendous player. What's he gonna do on this team?
Help a young
All right,
quarterback?
so now they win 7 games instead of 5 games or 6 games. He might get him 1 win.
8.
He might get him 1 win.
8, 9.
And then what?
Still missed the playoffs and have a worse pick tie.
Yeah, and then what?
Y'all thing is this. Y'all just,
If they were 1 player away,
y'all just trying
do
to,
it.
Y'all just trying to tank for these.
I'm not trying to tank at all.
No.
No, that's blasphemous. I'm not trying to tank at all. I'm trying to win.
It
I just
doesn't
feel
make a
like
big enough difference.
I just feel like if hypothetically, if I got somewhere between 12 and 15, I'm probably trading down. I personally like Blake Miller, but you know I'm biased. He's a Strongsville guy. Our offensive coordinator is a Northeast Ohio guy. They both offensive linemen. So to me, I just feel like you can do that. This probably won't happen, but I would probably trade pick number 24 for Marvin Harrison if Arizona is willing to entertain that. I would do that. Pick 39, if I can't get Marvin Harrison for 24, I'm going to try to call Jacksonville and see if I can get Brian Thomas Jr. for pick 39. And if I can do that, I'm probably still going to add like a Omar Cooper Jr. At 24 because now you got 2 wide receivers that can play off each other and you got Jerry Jeudy. So to me, it just depends on what Andrew Berry see, what he like. I just feel like you could get funky with this thing if you really get some people to buy what you selling.
Those Indiana players will be the most fascinating thing to see.
Yeah.
I, for some odd reason, don't want to believe that they're going to be good in the league.
Fernando.
None of them, huh?
D'Angelo Pond is the only one that I really like.
Yeah. I remember you talking about him before.
Yeah.
He's
Y'all
good
like
from
Surratt
Indiana.
either? Y'all
Indiana.
like Surratt either?
I think that he will struggle with separation.
Brian Robisky.
And I think he's fine at press. I think his routes is cool, but I just think he doesn't have that speed. And I think at some point, like, you gotta have that. Like he compares himself to Keenan Allen. Like Keenan Allen was filthy on the routes.
That's
like,
kind of
filthy.
crazy. That's it.
Like
That's-
get a ball in your
Yeah.
hand and that like releases was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like when I watch Elijah Sarratt, he ain't filthy.
And I was like watching the Rams 2000, 2001, 2002 offense. Man, Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt, they route running.
Yep.
Filthy.
You talk about being able to get open,
Yep.
ridiculous. Like,
Yep. Those are fun teams to watch.
Crazy.
All right, Mike.
All right, let's pivot, talk some Cavaliers. Quick reminder that on Monday we switch from 11 a.m. to 10 a.m. The first hour of the show is exclusively on the WKYC Plus app. You can go on your app store, Google, Android, whatever. Download the app. You can take a picture of the QR code on your screen. But the first hour of the show starting on Monday is at 10 a.m. only on WKYC Plus. The full show goes 10 a.m. to 12. The second hour is on YouTube. Let's talk Cavs for a second, then we'll wrap up the show with some Browns and some Guardians talk. The Cade Cunningham news came out. We'll talk about that on the back end of this conversation. But to start, did you guys hear what Kendrick Perkins said about Evan Mobley?
Not till you put it in the rundown.
I still ain't see it when you put it in the rundown.
Thanks for reading the rundown, Earl.
I'm being
All right.
honest. I ain't watching clip, man.
I told
This is what Kendrick Perkins said about Evan Mobley, and I quote, "In the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to be talking about Evan Mobley the same way we talk about Wemby taking the leap. He has that type of upside. It's all in his mind, though. There's nothing he's lacking from a physical standpoint. It's mentality-wise." Perkins said that after he dominated the Bucks earlier this week. Earl,
What's up?
is Kendrick smoking a little extra to make that comparison, or do you think his comparison of Mobley eventually reaching Wenbamyama level has
Said
any
you, not me.
validity to it?
Don't look at me like that.
Don't look at me.
I think comparing him to Wemby is kind of crazy, and that's no disrespect to Evan Mobley, but I think Wemby is on a whole nother level, and that's just what it is. But to project him to say he can come into his own, I don't think that's far-fetched. And I just think the fan base probably needs to readjust their current expectations a little bit for Evan Mobley. I think it was like the first or the second game, Mike, after the All-Star break, Kenny Atkinson said that what he's figured out, at least for this season, that Evan Mobley works better in the midst of what the Cleveland Cavaliers is trying to do. And that's a long way away from the preseason talk of Evan needs to be that guy. Evan has to be the focal point. So in real time, in real time, they figured out, okay, right now Evan is not there yet. And this is the first year of Evan Mobley's career to where he did not take a significant leap forward. And that doesn't mean necessarily that he didn't put in the work. It just means that it didn't all come together for him right now. And you just look at the dynamic of this team and how much the dynamic of this team has changed. I don't think that is too far out there to say that in 3 seasons from now, as he becomes older chronologically and hopefully matures more mentally and gains that self-confidence, that he can't become that guy on a consistent basis. But, yeah, I don't think it's too crazy to say anything like that. But if you're expecting that from him right now, I just think you got a false expectation and you setting yourself up for disappointment.
Ty.
y'all know how I feel about Evan Mobley. So when you're talking about in 3 years, you're going to have the same conversation that you having right now in 3 years. Listen, Evan Mobley is a fine player. He's a great role player. He will not be the superstar that you believe that he will be. He is a great piece for the Cavaliers. He will be a great X factor. He can have moments where he's going to have these amazing games, but I'm not counting on him on a consistent night-to-night basis. That's just what it is. He's shown it over, 4 years in the league now? 3-4 years in the league now?
5.
5 years in the league now. It's been the same story. I'm not falling for it. I'm not. I'm sorry. He's a great defensive player. Not ever going to win Defensive Player of the Year again unless Wemby gets hurt. Yeah.
Why are you such a hater, man?
Not a hater.
You're such a hater.
It's just what it
You're
is.
so negative, Ty.
Oh, let's hear what you have to say. Let's hear what you have to say.
I think there's a lot of truth in what Kendrick said right up until he mentioned Wemby. That is a bridge too far. Yeah, I don't think nobody has more stock in Evan Mobley than I do, except maybe Mike. Mike and I together are both pretty high on him, but I can't invoke Wemby's name in anything with Evan. First of all, Wemby's even taller. Like he's 4 inches.
I can't
bigger
invoke
than
nobody's name.
He's like 7 inches taller than Mobley. He's 7'5". Mobley's 6'11".
Yeah,
6
so,
inches taller.
All right, 6 inches. So right there, that puts him at a huge disadvantage. Like Wemby's 1-1.
Yeah.
And you need to stop invoking anybody's name in comparison to what Wenbamyama has done and is going to do in this league. But everything else Kendrick said, I think there's a lot of truth to it in terms of it's mental. I said that yesterday when we were talking about this, that there are games where he looks totally engaged and he looks like the player that a lot of people think he can be. And then there's other games where it looks like he's a million miles away. And that's the part that has to change.
How many superstars have you said that about?
Not many. Honestly, yeah, you're right. Not many. But it's in there.
The defense rest.
And you see it in there, and you know it's in there. But how do you extract it out?
Are you willing to mortgage your future on banking that it comes out?
Well,
but they're not mortgaging their future on it coming out, though. They just traded for James Harden to take that pressure off Mobley, Ty.
Yeah,
Put it to you this way.
Y'all know how I feel about that too, but we're not even.
I still got hope. It's a little bit of hope in there left that in three or four seasons from now that he can come fully into his own. It's not everybody reaches their full potential, but he has all the tools. He has all the traits. It's mental. It's effort on a consistent basis. It's all of that, building that consistency, man. Reputation is the father of learning.
Listen,
the more you do something
Earl,
consistently good
I
over
hear what you saying.
the better you get.
Earl, they gave this man
I get it.
opportunity.
I understand.
He has fumbled it every
But Kenny
time.
said that.
Stop.
Not right now.
Don't kind yourself. Don't fall for it, Earl. Don't even talk yourself back into it.
You know what I thought about?
What it is.
You know what
Just
I thought about
accept
this
it.
morning?
He's fine as a good X Factor.
That is
player.
fair. That's true,
He's a
too.
great role player. That's great.
You know what I thought about, though? Mike, Jason, this is what I thought about this morning. And y'all see it. Y'all be in the locker room. Y'all be at the games. Like, if Evan Mobley had Thomas Bryant's energy and attitude, I think, like, we could see. Like, imagine if, like, we all know what Thomas Bryant's energy is like, his personality is like. Like, imagine if Evan Mobley had that.
Guess when we
with his skill set.
Guess when we had this conversation last year. Guess when we had it before that, the year before that. It's not happening.
Now, in his defense,
he's not that type of guy, and it's fine. He's a nice guy, and that's fine.
He made a significant leap last year.
He did.
On the court.
This year, they started the season with no Darius and focused him as being the top guy.
And he did not live up to the billing.
Yeah.
How old is Evan?
Probably
23, 24,
yeah,
24.
like that.
So don't nobody, like maybe somebody in the chat, somebody watching, like everybody got that one family member that was just always quiet and reserved. And then you start seeing them early 20s coming around to family functions and they become a little looser with it. Now they start speaking up for themselves. They little bit something about their temperament is off, is a little bit different. And everybody be like, man, when you start acting like that or when you become like that. All I'm saying is
5 years.
The whole time is it might be in there. It's just gonna take it's gonna take something,
like
a significant life event that happened for it to come out of him.
5 years. In 5 years, his best thing he ever did was play extremely well against Boston in the playoffs. I think Jared Allen got hurt, and I think he was a guy that I think everybody no-showed except him. That was after that moment, I said Evan probably
was Donovan on this team?
Yeah.
Donovan got hurt?
Yeah, I think he got hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm about to say.
Okay.
So it was that moment where I was like, oh, yeah, there's something in there.
Everybody knows so.
He 100%. If he could do this, like, obviously they didn't win the game or the series, but I was like, he could do this against Boston, and you did it at TD Gardens. There's something in there. And after that, it's been 2 seasons since that moment.
So Donovan
and
was
I have
hurt.
watched him not continuously not show up.
That means your boy didn't show up either.
So, no. Who?
Darius.
No, he
Donovan
didn't.
was hurt.
No, he didn't. Yeah. And that's why they shipped him out of here.
Yep.
And if I was the Cavs, I would have shipped Evan with him. That's just my personal opinion because mentality is a big thing. Draymond Green is not the most athletic person in the world. If Draymond Green had Evan Mobley's body and skill set, he'd be unbelievable. Like, the fact that you blessed with all of this and the only thing that you can't figure out is the mind, is that you don't truly believe that you a dog inside. Like, that's like that. Playing professional sports, if you don't have confidence in yourself, you ain't gonna make it. I'm gonna just tell you that now. If you don't believe truly that you a dog inside, like, you're never gonna make it. You're just gonna be a decent player. And for 5 seasons, that's what I seen. I'm sorry.
I think he's got confidence in himself.
He ain't a dog.
That's different.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can have confidence in yourself and not be.
He was asked at All-Star Weekend last year, like, who are the two guys, who will be the best two players in the league?
He said him and Wemby.
Me and Wemby. I do think it's confidence, but I think there's difference in.
It's a difference between confidence and dog. Like, I ain't never seen Evan Mobley. Maybe you have. I ain't never seen Evan Mobley dunk and hit the yell like that. Like, I ain't never seen that.
Why? Why? You work.
Thomas Bryant do that all the time.
Let me get this right.
Tim Duncan didn't do that.
Let me get.
You don't need that.
You don't say. Well, you don't want to do that if that's not who you are, and that's just not who he is.
I guess.
So,
okay. Well, y'all keep believing he the
Tim
next
Duncan
Tim Duncan.
probably hit. Man, Tim Duncan hit a couple eyes, Mike. Come on now.
Y'all say he the next Tim Duncan.
No,
Who said he was the next Tim Duncan?
I'm gonna just go ahead and bet. I'm gonna pull up my stock.
I think Tim Duncan is the best power forward to ever play basketball. So I never said that.
And I ain't got no ill will towards Evan. I don't see it.
I think Evan's a very, very, very good player. I'm not willing to call him compare him to one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, that's pushing it.
Like I'm not doing that. But you said you'd move on from Evan. What if Donovan wants him here? What if Donovan wants to play with him?
I'd move on from Donovan because he's
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You out of pocket.
He's injury prone.
You are.
Well, you needed Donovan the most. What happened?
Wow. What is happening right now?
What happened?
He's got.
Well, you needed Donovan the most in playoff games. What happened?
He
got
breaks
hurt.
down physically.
Exactly.
He's got a new deal coming this summer. Starts somewhere between 60 and 70 million per year. That's what you have to sign him to this summer.
Now we getting rid of a Donovan Mitchell. I'm not listening to this. Y'all crazy, man.
That's what Tyvis. I didn't say that.
I said I'd entertain it. I listen.
All right, the other part of the Cavs conversation we got to get to today. Did you guys see the news about Cade Cunningham? It is genuinely unfortunate news. In case you didn't see it, he has been diagnosed with a collapsed lung and is expected to miss an extended period of time. The recent trajectories of a collapsed lung is missing about a month, which could take them right up to about the playoffs, if not the beginning of the playoffs. If you look at the Eastern Conference standings right now, the Pistons are still in the 1 seed. They have a 3.5 game lead over the Boston Celtics. The Knicks are a 1.5 games behind the Celtics, 5 back of Detroit and the Cavs, 2.5 behind New York, 7.5 behind Detroit. We have talked on this very program about the possibility of Cleveland wanting to face Detroit as opposed to Boston in a playoff series. But now with the uncertainty about how the top of the Eastern Conference is going to pan out, guys, there's no more guarantee Detroit's going to lock into that 1 seed. Boston could end up in the 1 seed, and you don't want to be in the 4 seed if that is the situation. Earl, how would you handle the upcoming and final 15 games of the season if you were the Cavs, knowing the uncertainty now at the top of the
Well,
Eastern
first
Conference?
and foremost, man, prayers to Cade Cunningham. Anytime you're dealing with a collapsed lung, man, you're talking about being able to breathe. And so before you even think about basketball shape or anything like that, man, you just want to make sure he's okay for his day-to-day life and things like that. When you get to the basketball court, I mean, that's an unfortunate situation for that franchise. Every single thing that they do runs through Cade Cunningham, and without him, it's going to be tough for them to hold on to that number 1 seed. But if I'm the Cleveland Cavaliers, man, listen, we got things that we need to figure out, and we need to try to win as many games as we possibly can so that we are clicking on all cylinders come playoff time. We all know that we have had injuries to different key players throughout the season to where even still, you know, we haven't had much time with this unit and this group being able to play together where everybody's fully healthy. You still trying to figure out rotations, and you want to get that chemistry part down pack as much as you can before you get to the playoffs. So, like, I mean, the best course of action for the Cavaliers is to figure out what your internal issues is, as meaning as far as rotations and, you know, get healthy, but win as many games as you possibly can. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, that's just that's the simplest way to go about it, right? Like, you shouldn't be jockeying for playoff seeding, trying to make sure you pair up against a team that you think you might be better than. We seen that JB Bickerstaff last year, and it didn't work out well. So,
Mike, you
just
talk
go out
about
there and win.
You talk about trying to stay at 4 for the 1-4 Detroit matchup, but who's to say Boston doesn't run down Detroit for the top seed?
That's what I'm saying. So with the Cavs, what do you do?
I just play the games. You play. You know, if I'm them, I don't worry about. You should feel like you can beat anybody in the East. So just play the games and don't worry about how the seeds fall on that. And for Detroit, I mean, Cade will be back for the playoffs. So you would think that they're going to get through the first round. He should be back for the first round, I would think, right around the playoffs in the NBA take like 2 weeks per round.
Yeah.
So certainly he would be back. I would imagine he'd be back for a second round matchup. So I don't think
They
if I'm
draw
the
Atlanta
Cavs-
though. Like if they fall far enough and they draw Atlanta, this very well they can probably go home first round.
I like
Detroit?
Atlanta.
Yeah.
I've always been high on Atlanta with some of their length and athleticism and the way that they play. But I think I'd probably still pick Detroit to win a series.
But you see it pretty much how I see it. The Cavs got rotations they need to figure out. They need to see how all their core pieces play together.
Yeah, they got
Like,
plenty.
while healthy. Like, you got to go play your games and try to win these games.
Yes.
You can't worry about what no other team got going on in the Eastern Conference.
Especially now, like there's so much basketball left.
Yeah.
There's always time in the NBA. There's always time, and you got a month. Like, if you get down to the last 1 or 2 games or 3 games, maybe we can start talking about positioning and all that. Right now, there's too many games left, man. Just go out there, figure out your business, and play games. Play to win.
If you jockeying for a spot, then you ain't a top dog like you think you are. Just play the games, win as many as you can, let them fall where they may.
Yeah.
Be like, I could be whoever. It don't matter where it's at, who got home court advantage. That don't matter.
I told Earl this morning when we were discussing this topic upstairs that obviously you prefer to play Detroit over Boston. Boston's a much tougher matchup, and with Tatum back, like they're a better team. But the Cavs gonna be playing their best version of basketball heading into the playoffs, regardless of the opponent. If the Cavs aren't right, it doesn't matter if they're playing New York, Boston, Detroit. It ain't gonna really matter. They can get knocked out in the first round if they don't have their own stuff settled, their rotation set, their guys healthy. So these next 15 games, I understand that you prefer to play Detroit over Boston, but at the end of the day, you got to make sure you're playing the best version of Cleveland Cavaliers basketball you can play down the stretch to have any chance at making a deep playoff run. The opponent is irrelevant if you're not playing good basketball. You can't, and we saw it almost 2 years ago when they tried to lose that last game, Jason, to play Orlando in the first round. They got taken to 7 games, thinking that was the easier matchup. It doesn't always work out how you intend.
Yep.
Play the best basketball, control what you can actually control, and let the rest play itself out.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the people at Boston is worried about who they playing?
No.
No,
No.
not at all.
If that's, then we need to figure something out with the Cavs still, because that's sad that this is even a topic.
Yeah, and like I'm with y'all. Like, I hope that that's not the mentality in the locker room of we prefer, quote unquote, to play Detroit. Like, you got to have an appropriate level of humbleness to you, no matter how good you think you are, and understand like what your history say. The Cavs are not in a situation to have any preferences on who they play, because you can't control how the matchups go in the other seedings.
Yeah.
Everybody always like project that the top seed is going to always beat the lowest level seed, and then when you move on to the next round, you will end up with this. It don't work like that. And so just take care of your own business in-house. That should be your primary focus.
You know, speaking of basketball, McNuggets, when you get a second, will you tell me what the score to Ohio State TCU game is?
I will look that up in a second. But I will tell you, Ty, it's not just a Cleveland discussion of playoff matchups. This happens for every team as they get down into the nitty-gritty. You can look at a team like OKC, who just won the championship,
all of
who
that
doesn't
is-
want to play Denver.
That's
They're not
all.
scared
That's
of Denver.
loser mentality.
They don't want to play Denver.
It's loser mentality.
The Ohio State score right now, Ty? Is the game officially tipped off? Yes,
I don't know.
it
I
did.
know it was supposed to tip off at 12:15.
Well, then it's probably 6-4.
Fine. I just need to know
How about
It's
checking-
8-5.
There, I was close.
who's winning.
Ohio State's down early.
Oh boy, they're losing.
Well, this David Punch dude for TCU said, like, first of all, we got to teach young kids how to talk trash, because this is terrible. He said that if we played Ohio State 10 times, we would win 9 out of the 10 because we're more athletic. And
I didn't see that.
I said that's the most loserish thing I've ever heard, because if you would have asked me back in the day, I said we would have beat you 12 times out of 10.
What year was you born?
Who?
This young man that's talking this.
I don't know. David Punch is his name. He's the best player on TCU.
So it's like early 2000s, right? Right, something like that, right?
Crazy.
So
Probably,
you got to
yeah.
take it with a grain of salt.
That's sad,
Yeah,
though.
you
Who
gotta take
says
what it
that? We would have.
Somebody born in, that's who.
So now you leaving doubt. Like
Like,
we would
listen.
have beat you 12 times out of 10. That's what I would have said.
Yeah. So
All right, let's get to our next topic, guys. If you want more Cavs talk, Jason and I did a Ultimate Cavaliers show earlier this week. You can find it on our YouTube channel. 35 minutes of unfiltered Cav talk. It was before the Milwaukee game, but we previewed some other stuff that still impacts their game tonight against the Chicago Bulls. Tip-off for tonight's game at 8 o'clock, and we'll react to it tomorrow right here on UCSS. All right, guys, let's get back to football. People are going to get mad when I say what I'm going to say next, but no one is advocating for this person to come to Cleveland and be anointed the starter. I want to make this very, 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 very.
My head already hurt.
In case you missed it yesterday, the Philadelphia Eagles traded for Andy Dalton from the Carolina Panthers. Why is that notable? Well, they had a backup quarterback in Tanner McKee, who is now entering the final year of his current rookie deal. We have all said on this panel, we do not anticipate the Browns quarterback room to look exactly the same as it does currently when training camp rolls around, meaning Shedeur, Deshaun, Dillon, somebody out, somebody in. For the sake of this discussion, and I think we all agree on this, Shedeur and Deshaun are still here. Dillon is out. Would you guys be interested in Tanner McKee being the third person they bring in as a backup quarterback option?
No.
Not to start, but
No.
to compete for that backup spot.
No. 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 I am so tired of this. No, man. These topics are annoying
how
me.
many
No.
games did he play?
What'd he say?
How many games did he play?
He has one career start. No one's saying to start. No, this is not to take over the
I don't
starting
know.
job.
What are we doing?
I have no idea.
What are we doing around
I have no idea.
Is this serious?
No idea.
Go ahead, Jason.
Well, no, he's saying not to start.
No one's saying as a starter.
But to compete for what?
So let me get this right. You're gonna bring in a guy to come in here to play to be a backup. So what happens if he never plays? You're not gonna resign
I would not
him.
be interested in this.
So what's the
I'm
point?
with you.
What are we talking
But
about?
he's-
here?
but-
give me a developmental guy out of the draft.
Thank you.
No.
Well,
To
what
answer
if you
the
think this guy
question, no.
could be a developmental guy?
Give me a
Young enough
developmental
to-
guy out the draft.
Philadelphia don't think he's a developmental guy. So why would I? We got burnt off of the Kenny Pickett thing. I'm not doing it twice. Forget Philadelphia.
He's got 1 year left on his deal. If you're not bringing him in to start him, then what's the point?
That's what I'm asking you.
It don't make sense at all.
Yeah, no, I'm not on.
The projected third string quarterback got more career starts than he do.
Yeah,
Say it again?
The projected current third string quarterback on his team got more career starts than he
Deshaun
do.
Watson.
Yeah. No, listen, I'm not advocating for it. I just think it's a question we have to ask now if we all agree the Browns quarterback room is not going to look exactly the same at the start of training camp as it does now.
I mean,
these are the kind of guys that you, in theory, would bring in that Dylan Gabriel third spot.
I don't know. I kind of get frustrated with it because I feel like the Cleveland Browns are telling you without telling you what it's going to look like and what's going on. If the Cleveland Browns quarterback room was going to look drastically different or anything like that, then 10, 11 days into free agency, I think that would be the case by now. But
Do you think it'll be the same three then?
No, I mean, I think like it possibly can be the same three, and the external option being somebody that comes out of the draft. I think that Todd Monkin is going to get the opportunity to pick his developmental quarterback out the draft and see what happens from there. He talked about this at the NFL Combine. Nobody is slated in anywhere. And when he was asked about adding a quarterback externally, he said, like, yeah, I'm going to do my due diligence, but do I absolutely have to go that route? No, I don't. Will he go that route? Yeah, but I think it'll be via the draft. It's just none of these people that we keep talking about and bringing up, it just don't make sense, and it all seems like a waste of time.
I think that everybody is so big on the quarterback room change. Yeah, it's going to change when they add a fourth person. I think the three guys will be there because you have to have four going in OTAs and training camp. I think the four, they'll add somebody, whether, I don't know if that'll be a veteran or a draft pick, but I think that those three will probably be there. Because you just don't know enough about them to just be like, yeah, I'm gone. Like, this ain't the answer.
Yeah.
In that circumstance, the fourth isn't a legitimate option. If you're just bringing in a camp arm to throw passes, then he's not a legitimate option.
They're not. He's probably not going to be.
So you think
The fourth option, whoever they bring in, to me personally, won't be a legitimate option.
so? You think they're going to roll it back with these three?
I think so.
Do you, Jason?
No, I don't think they're going to roll it back with the exact same room. This is the worst quarterback room in the league. Period. It is. It's the worst quarterback
Why
room in
is
the league.
that? Why do you feel that?
Have you seen the games the last 2 years?
Statistically, Dylan had a good year.
No, statistically, if you want to talk stats, they're the three worst quarterbacks in the league over the last 2 years. So
to me, it seemed like they blamed that all on the guy they fired.
Well, we'll see.
Which, if you look at any quarterback for the past 5 years that was a Cleveland Brown, they all charted about the same on that terrible list. So
we'll find out.
Sometimes it's not
the rest of the league certainly didn't seem to think it was Kevin's fault.
I guess we'll see about that too.
We will see.
Which Tua should be starting, right? Because I don't think Michael Penix will be back by the regular beginning
I don't know.
of the season.
I'll be curious to see how that plays out.
Throw to a spot.
Hey, I said when he took that job, I'm like, I'm done defending him on quarterbacks. because like I didn't think he had good quarterback play here. You can only work with what you got. I didn't think he had very good quarterback play here. But he chose that job, and he chose it quickly. So, okay.
Well, Jason, so you think it will change the quarterback room?
Yeah.
You think Dylan's the odd man out?
I think Dylan's the odd man out, yeah.
So does a person McKee's on the last year of his deal. You could take McKee out. Do you have another name out there that you think?
No, I think it'll probably be a draft. It'll probably be a draft pick.
Draft guy?
Yeah, it'll probably be a draft guy. And for the record, like I know everybody thinks I hate Shedeur, and I don't, but that's neither here nor there. The only guy of all of these names that have been floated out, the only name that I thought made sense was Kyler. That's the only one that I said yes to, that I would bring in. All the other names that were out there, Malik, I said no.
Anthony Richardson.
I said
Anthony
no.
Richardson was another one.
I said
Cousins.
no. I did like Kirk, but that question
you said
was
you would blow the whole room up.
They would have been gone. They would have been gone long before now. And
Kirk's still available.
He's going to
He's signed?
Vegas.
He's signed?
No, but I think he's going to Vegas.
You know somebody?
I think he's going to Vegas.
That would pop up on my phone. Kirk Cousins to Vegas. I'm going to laugh.
But that would have been like a stopgap guy. And then, because I mean, if it were me, the quarterback's coming in 27. But again, I don't want to have that conversation. I would not be interested in Tanner McKee.
You said 26 last year.
Yeah, I know. Now we're saying 27.
Yeah, I wouldn't be interested in Tanner McKee either. I think it's, like I said, a rookie developmental guy. Do I think that the room will be absolutely the same?
Carson Beck,
I think that Dylan
Lord,
Gabriel
I hope not.
clearly is the odd man out, but like I don't think the quarterback that's going to replace him, if he replace him, is a guy that's going to be like a real guy that's going to be competing for anything. I just think he's going to be here in the room learning.
It's probably, if I had to guess, this is a guess.
Gary Nussmeier.
Him or Aller. One of those two.
I hope it's not Aller. I've seen way too much of Drew Aller.
It's probably going to be Drew Aller.
I can't
just
talk
because you
myself
just
into
said that.
And I mean, we've tried this with the Cleveland dudes before, with the Ohio Browns grown up Brown. We've tried with Brady Quinn, Charlie Fry.
I believed in Charlie Fry.
Charlie Fry started one game and they traded him the next day.
Listen,
traded their opening game starter the next day.
He was getting his ass whooped. Derek Anderson came in there to save the day. And what's crazy is that 2007 season was one of the best Browns offenses that I can remember.
They go with 10-6, right?
Yeah, and we missed the playoffs because they laid an egg in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
we needed some help on Sunday night. They thought the Colts was going to lose to the Titans for whatever reason. This was Peyton Manning's like prime too. Like I was like, man, Steve McNair, Eddie George, do something, please.
McNair. Yeah, he was he was living on a prayer.
I was. I really was, man. But yeah,
I don't know who's some backups that's still available.
It's not a good list.
Once again, the names are not good, and I'm not saying McKee would come in here and start at all. I was just mentioning him as a name that is now a possibility for teams to look at acquiring if they want to acquire some sort of quarterback to add to their room.
What if the developmental quarterback they chose was Taylor Green?
Taylor Green?
Taylor Green.
The dude from Arkansas?
Arkansas kid?
6'6" dude who ran. Didn't he run like a 4.3 or something?
Yeah, he tested crazy.
All right, cool.
Well, I mean, he's truly a project. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the point with Dylan was always to try and develop a backup quarterback. Now, you can argue.
Who does that?
With the top 100 pick.
Who does?
I agree with
I've
you.
never heard this before.
I agree with you.
I'm going to go into this draft, and I'm going to
Shots fired, Mike.
I've never heard of it.
I'm just telling you, the thought process behind taking Dylan was that they were going to develop a backup quarterback.
Whose idea was that?
The Browns.
So if the Browns
somebody brought it to the table.
It was the Browns.
No, you need a name.
Who brought it
Who walked into that room and said, you know what?
This is what we going to do.
We're going to draft Kevin
you think it was Kevin?
So you think it was Kevin?
My bad. I ain't said I think it was Kevin, but I ain't said I don't think it was Kevin.
Go into this draft. You know what we're gonna do? I got a great idea. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna use our 3rd round pick to get a backup quarterback. That's why
I don't disagree with that at all. You can't use a top 100 pick on it.
The Browns did it though.
Yeah,
like they did it.
And the thing that I kept saying was they didn't think Shedeur was ready. And guess what? I know this is going to infuriate people. I won't even say it. No. But they felt like Dylan was farther ahead.
And don't you go Diamond Sampson again. Jump in the front.
But Dylan clearly didn't have the physical traits to execute when he was on the field. Is that fair?
For some odd reason, Kevin is trying to – it seems like he's really trying to take away the whole narrative of you don't need a top 5 quarterback to win. It's like he finds thrill in finding guys who's not a top 5 guy and win games with those.
I don't know.
Top 5's being generous.
I mean,
excuse me.
It's hard to find.
He said I can want the bottom of the barrel right
that's
now. I mean, he went to Atlanta with
that's pretty much what he's doing.
And that's the point I made earlier. Was like that's the job he chose. And he knew the quarterback room when he walked in there. So, okay, you better go win with what you got now because you picked that. You picked that room.
Which brings it back full circle. The Browns, we don't know whether that person is still in the building or not, but somebody thought it was a good idea to draft Dylan Gabriel because they can develop him as a long-term backup quarterback.
I ain't never heard of that.
But we sitting up here talking about now, like, okay, this quarterback room is going to look different. And I'm just trying to understand, like, if the Browns, not Kevin Stefanski, believe that he's a long-term backup, then why would you trade him now or get rid of him now unless Todd Monkin says absolutely he ain't got it.
And that may be it. It comes down to what he did on the field last year with some of the physical limitations. Clearly, he did not have the physical skills to execute last year.
If he was 6'2", would he be better?
Yeah.
He'd be a bona fide day one franchise
If he was 6'2", he'd be Michael Penix.
But also...
Fair enough.
But also, I lost my train of thought now. What were we saying?
We was talking about like Dylan Gabriel being drafted by the Browns because somebody in the room thought he was a long-term backup.
Yeah, and why would you get rid of the backup now?
Well, if you feel Shedeur can get better, shouldn't you feel like Dylan could get better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and maybe they will. I'm just telling you, to me, this is the worst quarterback room in the league. How can you run that room back? As is.
But
let me ask you
wait, hold on. Just like Kevin Stefanski took the job, Todd Monkin took the job.
Because he had no other options.
But Todd Monkin believes in his offensive philosophy. He believed that he could get the most out of the players that's on the offensive side of the ball here.
And he had no other options.
I've watched you sit in this chair and ask that same question multiple times.
What?
How can you run that back?
Yeah.
And what did they do? They said just like this and ran it right back.
Oh, you mean last year?
Period.
How'd they run it back? They got 2 rookie quarterbacks.
No, I'm saying not just the quarterback room. I'm talking about it was various things with the Browns where you was like, how can they not change that?
And has any of it worked?
No.
No.
But you saying it like it's impossible for them to do it. I'm looking at you
well, not
like,
that it's impossible.
Do you know who we talking about?
Not that it's impossible. It's insane. But they have often done insane things. So I guess maybe they'll just add one more log to the fire.
The wide receiver room last year.
What's that?
I guess they got bond with the wide receivers because they were terrible. You said it was one of the worst rooms, and they addressed that by getting an undrafted free agent
and giving them a guaranteed deal, 3-year guaranteed deal. I mean,
crazy times.
True or false?
Crazy times.
Yo.
We got one last
y'all
topic.
Gotta cut this out. Y'all gotta cut this out. This is crazy.
What?
This is wild.
All we're doing is holding up a mirror to what they've done. That's it.
Hey.
Spot the lie.
Hey.
Where's the lie?
There's no way we could run this offense back last year.
And they traded down from 2 to 5 and took defensive players with their top 2 picks. And then they were shocked when the offense wasn't any better. Yeah. Shocked.
Silence from the rest of the panel.
It's a fact. That's what happened. That's really
what
happened.
We just gonna trust that Todd Monkin gonna come in here.
Buy suits for everybody.
Listen. We gonna trust the data on this, Jason. The data says that more often than not, when Todd Monkin shows up to a new program, things change for the better. Let's just hope and pray that he stays the course with the Cleveland Browns. That's all we can do.
We'll see.
To Earl's point, 'cause
I'm
I saw
serious.
people-
We'll see. You could be
I'm
right.
To Earl's, real quick, because Earl's, people were mad at you earlier, and I had to correct them.
That's
when you
fine.
said that they see immediate improvements, Todd's first year, because they were mad because he went 1-11 in his first year at Southern Miss.
That's an improvement over 0-12.
They were winless the year before.
That's
So,
right.
Earl, you were right. That is an improvement. So people in the chat.
Well, my bad. I didn't give much nuance to it. I mean, I think the Browns are going to be better record-wise than 1-11 or more than the 5 games.
No,
But
you were right. They
It's
did
okay
improve.
that people are mad. It's
No,
okay.
they
went
did
from
improve. They were
0-12
winless
to
the year
1-11.
before.
See that? You get over
And
here,
he won a game.
you be polite to people and say sorry, and they just call you out.
That's fine. I'm going to still be polite. They ain't going to change me, Tyvis.
Listen, when the world turns their back on you, you turn your back on the world. That's what Timon taught me in Lion King.
Man, what is happening? What is going on?
Tyvis, what the hell's got into you?
What? Because I keep it real? I'm just keeping it real.
All right, we got one last topic we got to get to. We're going to talk some Guardians to wrap up today's show. Make sure you guys check out the Ultimate Guardian show that Zach and Bull did earlier this week. Also, as we make the switch over to the WKYC app, we now have our own UCSS landing page on the WKYC website. If you type in wkyc.com/UCSS, you'll be able to see all of the clips that we have
fancy.
posted. It is brand new. It went live this morning. You can download the app. You could also see for yourself, wkyc.com/UCSS. It has all of our clips. It'll have portions of the new WKYC Plus show that we're doing. All of it can be found on the wkyc.com/UCSS homepage. So make sure you guys check that out. You can go there right now. It is live and will continue to be updated daily in the coming days. 5 minutes of the Guardians to wrap up today's show. But Jason, if all the Guardians' young prospects hit, can they win the World Series? We're talking Bizana, DeLauder, Valera, all these guys. If they all hit, it's a World Series team.
Yeah, sure. I'm serious. Like, yeah, I guess.
What
but
do you mean,
it's
what
asking
do you mean hit? Like they
if
come
they
Y'all
all
pan out.
meet expectations.
Oh, okay. So you got DeLauder. So that's 20+ home runs. Valera's a good hitter. What's the other one?
Bizana, yep.
That would be nice.
I do have faith that this will
World Series. I'm not there yet.
I have faith that this will be the closest to an actual major league lineup, 1 through 9, that they've run out there in quite a while. I believe in their pitching. Obviously, you always believe in their pitching and their bullpen depth. So yeah, I'm not going to rule anything out. Certainly, they're not the favorites. They're not even top 5 probably. But if it all falls right, it all breaks right for them. Sure, yeah. I mean, who thought in 2016 that they were going to be as close to as they were to winning a World Series? So anything's possible, but they need a lot. They need a lot to go their way to be a World Series contender this year, including health. That's the biggest thing with DeLauder and Valera particularly. Bizana had some injuries last year, and by the way, like Bizana's got to hit. He's got to hit his way onto this team. This isn't a thing where they're like trying to manipulate contracts and delay service time and all that. No, he has to play and play well, and he has to force their decision to bring him up, and he hadn't done that yet, frankly. So, yeah, I mean, it's possible, but I would not pick them to win it.
It's possible, but is it likely? Nope. I think I would add on to what you said. I definitely believe in Stephen Vogt. I think 2 years of Stephen Vogt, I have definitely learned that he's a guy that can get the most out of his ball club. And if you're saying that they're putting together an actual major league lineup now, well, now he got more to work with than he did his first 2 years. But baseball is one of those sports to where you just better hope that you clicking at the right time, that you hot at the right time.
That's a fact.
Ideally going into the playoffs, that your pitching is on point, that, you know what I'm saying, the bats is hot more than just Jose Ramirez. Hell, even if we keeping it real, you want to hope that Jose's bat is hot come playoff time because he didn't have his playoff struggles. But it's just one of those sports to where you just got to be playing well at the right time, because even the teams with the high payrolls, if they're not playing well, then they're subject to not reaching their full potential. It's just how the sport works itself out. And so even like with everybody reaching a potential, it'll still be hard for the Guardians to win the World Series if teams like the Dodgers and Yankees don't have their struggles. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to have to like play at your peak, but also have some help, and hope another team that got a higher payroll or a better roster is struggling around the playoff times when you're not.
So that lineup would consist of Quan, DeLauder, Jose, not in this order, Bazana, Valera, Manzardo,
Reese Hoskins,
Reese,
Arias or Rocchio at short, and the catcher.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
That's not bad, actually.
Hey,
you give me playoff Rocchio, and them dudes pan out like it's playing well.
it's threading a needle.
That'd be kind of nice. I give them a shot at winning the World Series. The Dodgers is just hard to fathom beating the Dodgers right now, but to make the World Series.
Just wait until my boy Bo come into his own.
I think that would be nice. I would give him a shot to make it for sure.
To have a realistic chance at winning the World Series, you have to be able to hit the ball out of the ballpark on a consistent basis.
Yeah, Bo.
Well,
they have not been able to do
that. You'll have
that.
Jose, Manzardo,
Bo.
DeLauder.
Bo.
Shut up. And
Valera.
And Valera.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying,
yeah,
this is the
yeah.
closest that they've had
Yeah.
to an authentic, actual major league lineup in quite some time. They have the ability to hit it out of the park on a consistent basis with this lineup. Now, will they? You're asking a lot. You're asking a lot of guys to click at the same time.
You add Big Christmas to that.
Stop.
They would be very scary.
Imagine if Bo Naylor was in that mix too, boy. It'd be. Listen.
Did you say that he was gonna hit 20 home runs?
No, I ain't do a big bowl prediction, but I'm cool with rolling with that one. I have no
Who
problem.
said
with
that?
Naylor hit 20?
I think it was
That was
G.
G. Bush.
That was G who said that.
Okay,
That was G who
somebody
said
said
that.
that.
So
Quan, 20 home runs this year, and he gonna lead the team in home runs at some point of the season.
And is he going to hit 400 while he hits?
No, 399.
Oh,
Gavin Williams gonna
399.
lead the American League in wins.
Ooh, okay.
That's mine.
All right.
We got high.
I had Slade
for a team that ain't do too much. We got high hopes.
Yeah.
Where is Valera starting in the season? Minors.
No, he'll be up if he's healthy.
So DeLauder.
He's already hurt.
So him
He is.
and
He's got a
DeLauder
calf.
both will start on the.
Yeah, they'll be up.
Okay.
I think they'll be up.
Bazana's the only one that's.
Bazana will start in AAA.
Did he have an injury history in high school and college?
Valera,
No, DeLauder.
DeLauder.
Yes.
Yeah, I think high school.
Okay.
In college.
So no matter what sport, you kind of go back to the other topic we was talking about.
But-
It's just
But that's why I think if DeLauder's healthy, you got to start him up because you don't know how many games you're going to go. Why would you waste him in Columbus?
You don't.
Play him here.
play him right now.
And he
Has he played in the majors? He played
last year in the
In the
playoffs.
playoffs.
The playoffs was his debut. He
How'd he
has.
do?
He held his own.
Okay.
He held his own.
No home runs or nothing.
I don't remember if he homered. I don't think he homered. I don't think he homered.
That's not it.
But he just has a knack of barreling baseball. Like he's got a funky swing. It's unorthodox. There's a lot of scouts who don't like it.
He did not homer last year.
Yeah, I didn't think he did. I think Valera did. Did Valera?
Valera did homer in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yes.
What happened to C.J. Kafis?
He's still around.
He's gonna start in Columbus.
He's not an elite prospect. Like he's okay.
He looked decent at times.
We were clamoring for him last year because they had nothing else.
Yeah. What about Martinez?
Angel?
Yeah.
He's around.
He's
probably.
for a
he's still
roster
in the
spot.
minor.
No, I think Bull and I were talking about this. I had said last week, the week before. I
He
thought,
had a stretch where he was on too.
yeah, I thought Nolan Jones would start here just because he's a veteran who can play all three outfield spots, and you want Martinez to get every day at bats. But he's been so bad.
Nolan.
Yeah, he's been so bad this spring that I don't know how. I don't know how you can carry him at this point.
Hey.
So maybe it is Martinez
Okay.
that takes one of those bench spots. I don't like putting young guys into a bench role, but you can probably create enough at bats for him because you're going to be giving DeLauder and Valera off days.
Yeah.
he's an
Trying to
exciting
keep him healthy.
player.
And Martinez is versatile enough.
But we're gonna cut Nolan Jones, we can get Big Christmas back.
He's in Baltimore.
We can get him back.
No, they don't need to get him back.
Christmas is over.
Yeah,
It's spring.
Christmas
It's
is
really
over.
sad.
Christmas is canceled.
Santa ain't real.
Now he go to Baltimore and be sending them over the fence. I don't want to hear y'all say nothing.
Okay.
The next curve he hits will be the first curve he hits.
All right, we got super chats to wrap up today's show. Bill Rodewald says, will we be able to access the show if we can't be live for WKYC? Schedule change conflicts with my schedule. Yes. Like I said, we pinned it in the message. You can see it on the bottom of your screen right now. The UCSS homepage on WKYC.com will have everything you need. The clips, the full show, all that will be on the UCSS homepage, WKYC.com/UCSS. Lindsay Wade says, with the coaching regime changing from Stefanski to Monkin, in what ways could that change the Browns organization as a whole?
What ways will it change the organization? I don't know. It'll change the organization as a whole. It'll change, like, I have no idea what kind of offense he's going to run. I don't think anybody does yet.
Probably something closer to what the heck? Something closer to Georgia's offense, probably.
You think?
I feel like that. Because you ain't got Lamar.
You do not have Lamar.
Good. So where was he best at? Was having a quarterback like Carson Beck or Stetson Bennett was his quarterback at Georgia. Like, that fits more of a Shador or Deshaun, right?
We'll see.
We'll see. Sly says, are you guys getting rid of OT tier memberships? We are working with YouTube to figure out what to do with that. That is TBD, and we'll have an answer for you guys very soon. Michael Elbel says, why does the show start at 10 if it's app-related? What hours will Friday be if it's still half-hour segment on TV? So there's no longer going to be the Friday 12:30 show because we are done at 12. The reason we are going 10 to 12 is because there is live programming on KYC up to 10. Then we fill 10 to 12, and they go to the noon broadcast from 12 to whatever they fill with the rest of the day. So we slide into a spot where we can be live on the app without interfering with news content, because at the end of the day, as much as Tegna likes us, we are not superseding the noon news or the morning newscast. They don't love us that much. Any Lover G says, assuming things don't work out next season, looking at 2027, are you praying for a Super Saiyan, arched for arched, wanting more, or looking at Mastermaker?
Mastermaker.
Oh, the person spelled it Mastermaker.
I think that this time will tell. I mean, Arch is probably going to be him and Dante. You would think it'd be the top two guys in the draft.
I'll be curious to see how Saiyan is evaluated.
Well, Saiyan, it was going to be interesting to see what Saiyan does because
his arm ain't that strong.
That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say because he's benefited from having two guys,
which is why I'm curious.
If you go watch the games where he didn't have those two guys, he barely hit like 150.
He gonna have two guys this year.
We gonna have one for sure.
I think he's gonna have another one. I think Chris Henry Jr. gonna hit from the beginning.
He better be. They want to go where they want to go. He gonna have to be.
I'll be curious to see what NFL guys say about him.
I probably gonna be a knock against him. Yeah, because you could go back to, I think it was UCLA and Rutgers last year where he didn't have neither one of those guys, and his stats was not great.
Yeah.
Paul Robinette says, if a 2027 first is worth 3, wouldn't you give up this year's first straight up for a next year's first?
They ain't doing that.
Absolutely.
I would.
Well, would you?
I would, but they ain't doing that.
Other teams won't, but yeah, we
doing
would.
That.
It's good, y'all, says Earl, because you said please, I downloaded the app. See? Earl?
See?
Kindness wins. Kindness wins.
Kindness wins. And you worry about the few people who was mad at me. It's okay. We got somebody to download the app all because I said please.
Y'all mad at me because I kept it real today.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you.
I ain't never mad at you.
Get more like Jason every day.
Yeah, I love it. Come on in. Come on in. The water's warm.
Mr. Rick Secker says, I hope all is well with Bull and his surgery. All the best to him and his family.
Yep.
And that is Super Chats for today, guys. We got 2 minutes left before we get
score?
to
That's all of them were all the nice ones.
that was all. I promised I would read the mean ones, too.
What's the score to the OSU game?
I closed it out. Let me pull it back up for you, Ty.
Why would you do such a thing?
Roger Caruth was on the Breakfast Club this morning. I'm telling you, this stretch that 23-11 team at the top series to start it off of has more minorities showing up to NASCAR events than I've ever seen, and I've been watching racing since the year 2000.
Ty, you sure you want to know the score?
They losing like that?
They're down 9.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
33-24. And for anyone who bet Troy, Nebraska, Troy leads 13-12.
I got Troy. I took Troy because I just don't believe in Nebraska.
Michael Jordan and Denny, they got a damn good team.
In racing?
Ohio State gonna lose, huh?
Think so?
You never know.
Miami of Ohio beat SMU.
Yeah, you see what they did? Shot all threes. They made 16 of 41 threes.
Ty, real quick, what do you think of Denzel Boston?
I gotta go back and rewatch his tape. When me and G first watched his tape, it was
Okay.
yeah, it was like, well, this is the guy. And then I see Todd McKee talking about him in this highlight and all this stuff. So like, I gotta go back and watch.
What you think about Jacoby Lane?
Again, he underachieved. He was supposed to be like that guy, and he did not this season.
I think the Browns gonna take like 2 wide receivers, maybe 3 in this draft.
I don't know what the Browns gonna do. We just knew last year they was gonna take an offensive player. They didn't do that until their 3rd pick.
Yep.
Make sure you guys check out the new UCSS landing page on WKYC.com. We're taking a 2-minute break so Jason can use the bathroom.
Oh my God.
And then we'll see.